All right, guys, you already know my main man is back for his 18th interview, Mr. Cuban Link. Cuban, we can't even let these interviews breathe.
What's
There's
up,
so
baby?
much going on, man. How you feeling today?
How y'all doing? Chilling. What's up, my boy? Ain't nothing, man. Just, I can't say that, like it's a crazy situation. It's basically, it boils down to it's still being my story. The story I've been telling y'all for over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I got all the backlash from, they'll leave it alone, but you see what happens. I'm just saying, it's already prophesized. It's been prophesized. I hate to put it in the way that, not even taking credit, but it's just like it was a problem then, and it's going to be a problem now because disappointed leader that's been, one of the gatekeepers.
Wait, Wait. We're going to get into that, okay?
Yeah,
because I got a specific question for you. I got a specific question for you for that one.
Talk my shit. I earned my right.
I know, but I got a specific question for you with that.
So what I'm saying is that the problem that I had back in the days with a certain person, you know what I'm saying? A certain egghead shaped, individual, you know what I'm saying? That had that colonizing mentality. I had a problem with him then, and it was behind the scenes and all that. Yeah, I blew up the spot because he did certain things that was definitely wrong. But this is the same guy you're having a problem with now, that is taking the hip hop culture and really, you know what I'm saying, just making a profit for himself. And y'all see how selfish this individual was. And I was telling you, he was selfish back then with his own people. So it's just, just how the world works. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we got to take care of situations when, you see the red flags coming up and really have a, responsible, the council in hip hop, if there is one, should have definitely addressed it, because I've been definitely repping hip hop when at the end hip hop wasn't really repping for me. And that's because I love the culture.
All right, so let's start with Fat Joe on the Math Hoffa podcast, right?
Salute to the Beluga. That's why I have it a Cup of Joe. This is called the Cup of Joe.
You saw he dissed the FBA by calling them broke, radical, black, racist. And what did you think about when he said that?
I just thought he was the same disgusting person, Beluga, that did that to me when, I try to tell the truth. I had a disagreement with him, try to stand up for what was righteous, talk to him like a real individual. And, he didn't want to take, he didn't want to take the blame for anything, and dismisses you. So I know that feeling. He tried it with, the FBA, and they felt the same way I did. So they responded in the same way. It felt like they was being demeaned, and it felt like it was very disrespectful. So I had that feeling in my heart already, like, this is who this dude is. So he's just disgusting. He's going to show you who he is, and he showed you.
Right, because all of this comes from the whole argument that hip hop was created 50-50 by blacks and Puerto Ricans, right? Joe is upset because the FBA has been arguing against that point, and he's really upset about that. And instead of choosing his words carefully on the podcast, he acted on emotion.
It's just that I felt it was just disrespectful. You could see it. You see it. Like, who does that? Even if that's the subject, it's just as simple as just a disagreement, which is a crazy conversation to have, and it's a conversation that I would love for people to just engage in, so we can find the truth about it at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, for sure. And not just one side, because it's what it is. Really, it's one side, and it's like nobody is really doing the 100% work to go find this out. And if it's true, which I feel, the FBA is right. It's black culture. Hip hop was created by black Americans, fundamental black Americans. Got no problem with that. I got an African side. I love that, but you know what I'm saying? I know the struggle. Why can't they have that? Like, who's going to be opposing that? Like, not me. I would never want that. But I also want to know the truth, factual truth, at the end of all the research, that we could say the truth. Even if you say your Spanish people help build it. because there was the first participants, really, the Puerto Rican culture was the first participant of spreading it and getting together and bringing the message and expanding it. You know what I'm saying? Latinos say it in a respectful way. I think everything should be said in a respectful way in the timeline which it was created in. Not in the throwing it in your face, not in the, you know what I'm saying? Not in the demeaning the other person or the other culture. Oh, we already had this. Because, you know, that bond and that unity that hip-hop was at that time, which I came in as a foreigner. I came in as an outsider. You know what I'm saying? I came here really from Cuba, from a boat. You know what I'm saying? From 1980, my real boat lift. You know what I'm saying? Without knowing English. So I landed in Miami, stood in Miami for 6 months. I went to Puerto Rico for 4 years. I got to the Bronx when I was 9 years old. So in 1984, I was out here. And without knowing English as a little kid, that was a foreigner, the black folks embraced me and took me in. You know, walk with my man Carl to school. He'll walk me to school. He was a little older, but he already, you know what I'm saying? It was a black folk without even me know how to, like, you know what I'm saying, engage in a conversation all the way with the English. You know, the black love was there. You know
They
what I'm saying?
welcomed you.
Yeah, the black love was there. The culture, after me being living in the neighborhood 163rd, between 163rd and 164th and Sheridan, which is Latino and black all day. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was that time that unity was at its strongest. Even the drug dealers in the corner, we knew them and they knew us, but they were protectors of the block. You know what I'm saying? There was dudes that, you know, that engaged in the community to protect it, to chase pedophiles and rapists away. You know, I witnessed that. You know what I'm saying? To embrace, and the love was there. Even though, of course, it's personal problems. You get personal with certain things, but that's just neighborhood stuff. But at the end of the day, the message of Black and Latino love and the unity, from school too, it was Black and Latinos all day. From hip hop, from the jams that was thrown over there, it was a melting pot of people getting together at the end. That was the biggest message, more than anything that we had different about each other. It was more about the same qualities and sharing our cultures, which, you know, made hip hop a beautiful place to be a part of. You know what I'm saying? And be living in a beautiful thing to take part of. And it was a very inviting culture where, if it wasn't for that element, I don't think hip hop would have, you know, lasted as long as it has.
So it was a welcoming culture that allowed others to participate in, which in return elevated the culture.
But remember, it was earned too. It was earned. I don't think that it's just like, you know what I'm saying? It definitely earned. And there was certain individuals picked because they were real individuals, because, you know, whoever, you know what I'm saying, whoever had that created it, which whatever Black folk created it, you know, everybody at that time was street. It's a street culture. You know what I'm saying? When I came, it was a street culture. Like, our parents was like, yo, don't walk like that. Why are you spinning in your head like that? Like, it was new, like, to the older Latino parents and even Black folk, the parents. They didn't understand this. It was like rebels. We were rebels. Revolt. It's like we was revolting. It was street culture. It was looked down upon by everybody. So the youth and the streets cultivated hip hop. It was founded on the streets of New York and the Bronx specifically. I think we can all agree that. You know what I'm saying? And if you start agreeing with like that and start opening the history pages, I think it's going to lead us to where I think we all know at the end of the day, you know, that Black culture, you know, Black folk created hip hop. Spanish, Latino brothers, mainly the Puerto Ricans, helped build it along with them. And then, you know, you got the Caribbeans, of course. I'm talking when I say Spanish, Latino, I bring the Caribbean, Jamaicans, and all of that with us too. You know what I'm saying? Sprinkles, though, too little to be the majority. The majority was the Black, you know, culture.
Right.
100%. And it was street Black culture. You know what I'm saying?
So let me ask you this, though, okay? Because Joe has been on record as considering himself to be Black, too. He said that since a very young age, he was called the N-word, and he considers himself to be Black as well. So why should he have a problem then if people are saying that it's not 50-50?
Because he's moving, because we could accept them as he thinking and saying that he's black, by the way he walks and he talks and his slang and he raps and he writes graffiti. We could accept all of that, but you know what's white? And I'm saying, when I say white, I mean the system, the colonizing type system where, they try to take the inventions of others and they try to just capitalize them and have no feelings put their name there and be executive producers of everything. You know what I'm saying? Once they become part of whatever thing they become a part of. It's the fact that he's moving. The disrespect he just showed. The fact that in the business dealings, when he had a brother like Pun, really, if you want to talk about creation, he recreated Fat Joe and put him in a position to win and be looked at as one of the top MCs, and for people to bring attention to him. Gave all the Pun's fans went with Joe's fan. They loved Joe for that, for putting back Big Pun on. You understand? So that's the business side, and how you take that, how you take the gift that my brother, one of the top. I'm going to say artists. It's not even Latino, because we didn't even think, when we came in this game, it wasn't about color. It was the system that labeled us Latino rappers. We saw each other as no color. That's what hip hop taught us from the beginning. Ain't no color barrier. Like this is a culture where we could enjoy each other without even thinking of race or nothing. We just enjoy the music, because
people
dancing.
view hip hop like a religion almost, or like a culture in itself, a race,
because
race
that's
in
when they
itself.
added the 5 elements, and it became that. It became the way you walk, the talk, the
lifestyle.
The lyrics. The DJs, it becomes you, because it's just what it is. It was born in the streets, so it's that diddy bop, it's that graffiti. What you tackle, what you represent, is that breakdancing moves. You know what I'm saying? It's the way you spit on the mic. It's the way the DJ scratches. It's when you start putting all those elements in, it became a culture. That's why it's different from rap and hip hop. Is a whole different thing. So that question, Latinos had a part in creating hip hop. It's still a little bit of question mark, because there's different aspects of the game that they could have made an aspect of and become the creators of, like the breakdancing, like the DJing, like the graffiti, like those kind of. We want to go deep, just like they did with music. I know 100%. I believe that black folk invented, what I'm saying, the MC and the DJ. I have no problem with that. Shit, listen. Me as an immigrant, when I came in, just like a fresh, new beat of hip hop and hearing music, it was predominantly all black. But it's not like it was all great. Like, I have my favorites because they did it the best. You understand? They did it the best. Like, at the time when I came in, it was Melly Mel and the Furious 5 on the radio talking about white lines. You know what I'm saying? Talking about the message. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, and then it was others, of course. You know what I'm saying? The real Shantae. It was that era. You know what I'm saying? Crush Groovin was in the movie circuits. Wild Style, it was Beat Street. So, but the thing is that these visual products of hip hop, of the streets, like the way they depicted the streets, even though later on we knew it was Hollywood, it had the black and Latino ingredient into it, and the unity. And you could see Latinos play a role even back in the days, the burned down Bronx when I came. And that's the truth. Like, that's what it was supposed to going on. But now they're saying that, that hip hop was invented in 1970 something, 71, 74.
Well, some people are saying even before then, the elements existed before then.
Like blues singers, the Dolomites, speaking in poem, and some black, like
the
R&B
dances
singers,
too. Some of the dancing.
Hip-hop singers used to, rhyme and parody. Yeah, but it wasn't named hip-hop yet. It's the problem.
Right. But the unification of it is what it's called hip-hop.
You could have called it cadence for that. Yes, somebody did it. But if that's the case, then we got to give credit to that. There was people already rapping in words, poetry and emotion. They was doing that. You know what I'm saying? But was it created and it made this explosion to the world and it became hip hop and it became with this culture attached to it? We added graffiti, we added the breakdancing, because breakdancing was made, for a reason. It was to stop the youth from fighting and and disputes and handle it on a dance floor so it could bring peace. Everything in hip hop brought unity and peace towards the culture. The street, it was always a street element. Remember, back then it was certain kind of the the authors back then, the creators, or they got the baton from the other creators, it was always to push that positive, agenda. You know what I'm saying? That's why we had, guys always make a positive song on the album, even the most gangster, like G-Rap. Still was like, Don't Curse, did a song like Don't Curse with Heavy D in him. He did Erase the Racism in his own album. Some positive, because you have to balance it out. You know what I'm saying? Do come from the streets. You know what I'm saying? And we had like Self-Destruction, Same Gang. You have, EPMD. Public Enemy. Fight the Power. There was movements behind that. And even Dead Prez, the last movement that was really, I thought Dead Prez, was incredible. Both of them. You know what I'm saying? I was there in Loud Records with Pun. We were part of that. You know what I'm saying? So that was a movement that's supposed to take it off. But I guess the force behind it wasn't being backed up anymore. And it could have been purposely, or it could have been like people just gave up on that and they got bigger problems. They didn't want to join, whatever. But lyrically, that press was incredible, preaching the message of Black unity and pro-Black. You know what I'm saying? So, I supported it, and they was definitely building with us. So,
well, let me ask you this though, okay? What does Joe get out of pushing the 50-50 agenda?
Oh man, it's always a business side to Joe, man. He would never get involved in that. He definitely wanted to pump that because you see how breakdancing got added to the Olympics, right?
Right.
So it became, you get added to the Olympic, you crossing boundaries. That's how big hip hop is. So, beginning is that. What's not to say that there's going to be another chapter from breakdancing, a bigger hip hop department, and later on. They got access to all this knowledge, and you know where the culture is moving. Saying the progression of it, and whoever's leading them conversations in the business side, in that big kind of scale, it's definitely Joe is playing along with them because he wants to be part of those that collect that kind of coin in that level. So definitely is the money interest in it. Also is there's a side of him that want the recognition for Latinos and to be known in hip hop. I believe that because that's what he's using regardless. The innocent aspect of you can't leave us out. We was there, but he's not saying it like that. He's saying it really like you can't question him, and he's taking it regardless if it's not true. We put in too much work. Y'all gotta let us in, or not. We gonna take it on some old, revolution shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why he came across it, and he's just not that character to do that. He's not built with that Malcolm X, this is for your people thing in his heart. He's not the leader that's gonna be like, I'm gonna bleed and die for my people because this is what we deserve. It's not that, but he's gonna use that. But it's about the money.
So you're saying that it's more self-serving, but he's masking it as this is the love for my people. Basically.
Exactly. He's trying to use that, but he's not. It's not really the love because he wouldn't have came across that way. He would have came more respectful, more understandably, more willing to open to debate, more, he's trying to shut it down like he a gangster. He a problematic, but he's from the, what are you going to do? This is the dude that, accepted God, that mocked me for accepting God. Talking about he's a God-fearing man on Drink Champs that, mocking my situation, saying that, he's about the movement of hip hop and he's positive. When it's the opposite, underground, he's the opposite. The other side of Joe, which I never put a light on, is all the disgusting things that he's done. Personally, to me, to Pun's family, to Pun, the guy who really made him, who, put him in that situation, to that guy, family, to him, to Pun when he was alive and after his death, and then got the nerve to spin it on like this type of thing, shows and interviews, that Pun was his brother and his twin. And using it like that for robbing the money and not taking care of his of responsibilities as a friend that he worked for. It's not like Pun, just because he's your friend and he's supposed to do this. No, my brother worked for that. You actually stealing. You're a thief. And you masking yourself like you're not a thief in front of these cameras and acting like, bro, it's this, and you bringing my brother in conversations to help him his agenda. To grow bigger in business. And that's the problem I have with him. Besides the other things that he's done personally to me that, we got to handle it when we handle it. So,
Right.
it's been like that for years.
So we know that Lord Jamar had invited Fat Joe to debate him on the 50-50 topic. But instead of Joe accepting that to handle things in a more peaceful way to debate him, he decided to go on Math's podcast and go at Jamar the way that he did, right? Like I said, calling him the wackest one in the group. What did you think about that?
He got nerve. He got nerve to say that. Did you just hear what I said about him never really writing nothing that was dope? That, we all from King's Son to Armageddon, to Keith Nut, to my brother Big Pun, to myself, to Triple Six, to JQ, to people to TA. These are people that wrote for him. So how can you even say that about Lord Jamar, even if you want to go there? You're not even entitled to say that, brother. You just piece. You just an entertainer. You never put the pen down that made any money or impressed anybody in your life. You know what I'm saying? You use other people's lyrics. You're just a clone. That's it. All you are is a vessel to exploit whoever's your crew, the talent from your crew. You never wrote nothing. And then, no, let me get that. And even with that, with other people writing his stuff, you still the wackest out of DITC. You still the wackest in Terror Squad, the group. Lyrically, you're still whacking, and you're the wackest nigga in the crew, of both crews. So what are you saying? Like, that's an observed, but in his mind, he thinks he's that, and maybe that's what keeps him going, thinking that way of himself. Turning himself into a ball and blow himself every day like he does. Maybe he's giving him that confidence because he thinks he's who he thinks is in his mind. And that's a good thing because some people do believe that. He made some people believe that. A lot of people believe that. It's just if you know the truth, it's not valid.
Right. And what I think was interesting was that he called Lord Jamar a loony bin that will say anything for attention. But if you think about it, what does all these headlines that Joe catches from stories that he tells, what is it really about? Saying things pretty much that is going to get attention, right?
It's Lion King. Joe is the Lion King. 100%. Cat Master. Joe Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Cap Joe. Joey Caps. You can go anywhere with that. It's just destiny.
But after he got all the backlash from the podcast, right?
I haven't seen him do anything. Yeah, it's been like 5 days. So that means
no, but he posted a picture on Instagram of himself looking in the mirror with Michael Jackson, Man in the Mirror playing with the caption, and just like that, face off. That's the caption that he put. So it was interesting because it's like, face off now, like people really are seeing you for who you really are. That's like the irony of you putting that caption, though.
Yeah. What do you think he meant, though, by that? What was the metaphor? I haven't thought about it, but maybe it's the meaning behind it. The Man in the Mirror.
But then another picture, he's flicking off the camera.
If he's a humble person, which he's far from that. He's far from that. If we see this from somebody else, maybe that stuck a foot in the mud and he's sorry for it, maybe he's saying, damn, I had to look at myself in the mirror, man, and humble myself because I was out something. That's a real word of somebody who learns something, right? But he probably hears this now and probably try to do it, which is disgusting. That's what he does. He's trying to find the best answer now. Think tank. He got a think tank. How to come back from this? He got all his friends. Look, how can we help him with this? Giving him money, just like a think tank, to find a solution how he gets away clean from this and to get accepted back into the culture. To put that perception at least, because he's been trying to buy different avenues. I already seen it in action. I've seen it in action already where people are talking on lives and you got rappers calling in or hitting you in. Yo, I got you, man. Yo, back up, Joe, my brother, he didn't mean it like that. People I know, from the game. You know what I'm saying? So imagine with Math, that's definitely a thing. They're having a think tank, even with executives. How can we keep this Joe guy, because he's an asset to the business side in hip hop. So how can we help them all? How we all can come together and help Joe get out of this? That's how they're doing it.
Right. Just like from a PR standpoint, right? It was such a bad move to say what he did. Like, I just don't understand, especially
I also think people had it in for him. They was waiting for him to make a mistake too, though.
a little bit, but I think
They
that,
was tired of him. They was tired of him. And right now,
yeah, but I think that when you're dissing black people and then at the same time you're saying the N word with it,
but
it
he
was
got
very
remember, he
cringe.
got like 6,000 strikes already. This is a guy with this is not his first rodeo right here. He got accumulated things that made you go, what was that, dog? And then he'll come back with an apology. I didn't mean that. I love it. But then he pays off the witnesses. It's like the things that like I didn't hear Vita and Little Mo come back and really, because he gave him a check and some money, always put a smile on somebody's face. I don't understand. Like, to me, that's why they don't like me. I got too much, it's not a dollar amount they could pay me to not say what I think is the right thing and how it went down. If it's something that's going to help the next person coming along this avenue or being, part of this thing. You got to expose these things about people. You know why? Because if not, it's going to get worse. And they capitalizing, letting the devil capitalize and keep taking power until he just keeps stepping on his own shit. And y'all making excuses for him. Those are the things that you got to follow the money trail. And you see who's really backing up this devil. That's it. I know.
You really think after he made that comment about Vita and Lil Mo at the Versus, where he called them dusty crackhead bitches or whatever, right? You really think that he paid them off?
That's a bad look, because now, even if you say that, right, and there's a part of hip hop, like when we started from, but we never talked like that. It was never a battle when we do that to people. We never do that back in the days. I never seen nobody do that really. But he did it in a big place. Like, this is gonna get audiences to watch. People that never seen hip hop. That's the lesson you want to teach them, that you could call women like that out their name like that, just because they didn't even do nothing. They didn't go at him. Right. They didn't even deserve that. You know what I'm saying? But it's sad that he probably could buy certain people off with just a pair of shoes. $10,000.
You think that he paid them though?
Had to be paid for Vita and for Little Mo, artists that really are not popping right now. That might be their play, to be like, oh, he got paid for this. Well, fuck that. We got to get some money out of something. And he probably cut that check. And they didn't say the actual, how they really, really felt because of that. I think so. But it's I'm telling you, something, that's like a business. It's like a business. When somebody mess up like that, they use, instead of suing you, they expect you to, you throw them a little bread, they're going to forget about it. All right, just don't do that again. Well, the 20 racks or whatever. I don't know how much it was, but I'm sure it was some extension. I'm sure an apology of, I'm sorry. For them to even look at Joe again the same way, I don't think they could. But if he paid him off, we'd be like, I'm going to wait for this nigga to make another mistake. Because he likes to pay for his mistakes. And Joe got money to spread like that. That's why he makes mistakes when he wants to. And it's forgiven. But when it trickles down all the way as for the whole outlook of hip-hop, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Because it's really, it's no money. It's not a price that you could do to pay off the damage that he's really doing to the culture. And how a guy at this age and that train of thought still show his growth, supposed to be one of the gatekeepers. You could see how he's managing that gate, the gate that he's keeping. You could see through the years how he handled that. And y'all letting it. I blame hip hop to a point too. Y'all letting it. That's because he's feeding them. So he's the money earner. He's the earner for the game of hip hop, because he spreads it to the right people. And the right people that got power, when they spreading that money, they keep that circle together forever. You understand? So it's a council. You want to go back to the mob and find the structure of the mob. Yeah, you can refer to that. And that's how it's going on up there. And I know it for a fact. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the people that are in power. And that's why, like I said, you can see the state of hip hop, of how it became. With people that we respected as OGs coming up, like the Jay-Z's, the people that really in power that can make things happen. Even Joe, you know what I'm saying? Because he was definitely given the spot of the Latino headmaster in charge. What Latino rapper he ever put on? Never. But he wants to take credit for the Pitbull thing that Luke did. He wants to do it. Oh, I helped Bitch and Joel Ortiz. He never did nothing. He never do nothing. But the funny thing is that when you ask probably these artists that he's naming, you ask them a question. Yeah, he helped me, yeah. So they already been taught either by somebody with more power than them, or by the same label mate, or by a higher dude that's gonna promise them, something for something. And that's how it's played. So when you say the truth, like me, and you uncovered it and you break it down like I'm breaking it down, I'm the enemy. Even though I'm telling the truth, I'm the enemy. I'm the one that's gonna go to the internet, to YouTube, whoever working at YouTube, yo, try to mess that boy's number. See Hassan? Oh, the Hassan Campbell, yo, he's too close to the truth. Yo. And have a meeting. Yo, we have to lower their number so people don't hear them. We have to, you know what I'm saying? Keep them, give them just enough that they feel all right, but you don't know what they're taking away from you.
Right, they're suppressing it. Got you. The thing that really upsets me about this situation is the division that it's causing, because people are viewing Joe's actions as a representation of Latinos as a whole. And it's like, who elected him?
That's a problem I have.
Nobody elected him to be the face of Latinos.
Well, hip hop elected. That's electoral. Yeah, somebody, definitely a group of people.
To be the face?
But the group of people that decided hip hop elected him. Not the people. Or maybe the people did.
That's what I mean. The people did not, though.
Yeah, but
the people did not.
No, there's some people that he gassed up. And they believe him like the word of God when he's talking about it. Because he gassed it up because the platforms he's been in are respectable platforms that embrace him.
Right.
And they show him so much love. So he looks to the public like, yo, he must be a good guy. Look at Oprah got him on this shit. Everybody's talking about it. Stephen A. Smith just did it. So is that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Is that. So, he solidified himself in those relationships and that kind of business moves that give him the power to talk to people from a different kind of stratosphere. You know what I'm saying? And his word, when you go up that ladder like that, you up there, the words just mean more to certain people, to the blue collar American, to the white collar American. You know what I'm saying? To those people who got power. So they respect him on that level. So all the grief that he's caused, you know what I'm saying, along the way, all the dirty moves he ever did, those kind of people in business, they applaud those things. Because everybody do certain disgusting things to get in power, right? That's the myth or the hidden fact behind, every rich man who became a powerful rich man. He had to step over certain people and do certain, but this was done. Hip hop was used to do this injustice. You know what I'm saying? That he's done. And it's really an injustice, you know what I'm saying? When you keep an artist from coming out that has, that adds to the heritage of hip hop in a positive way that make our people look great in a category that we was never great in. Just like Pun followed that tradition of setting the bar. Artists like Pun in the Latin community, in the Latin hip hop game, where we could later on say, yo, we added to that. There'll be more of black folks saying, yo, they earned their way. Yeah, they earned their way there. They up there. When they start loving, Latino artists, which is not even Latino, just regular rappers with my kind of background, with Joe's kind of background, but we equal. And we definitely tip our hat off and humbly give the love that the Black American culture, the foundational Americans, they deserve and they earned and they fought for. And regardless if we helped them with it, give them that title, man. They earned it just as much as we earned the title of builders and expanding the culture that they created. But we was with them. That's why we feel a little betrayed, because we was with y'all. We was fighting. We stood in the line and we fired them shots too. That's why it gets personal. But listen, if you're black, if you're Latino, didn't you say you were black? Why are you not embracing your black African side? Because this black culture, at the end of the day, is from the streets, it's from the Bronx. If you go back in timeline, it was black. It was mostly black out there doing their thing, like you said. Latinos out there, but it was still that, Black Americans invited us into the culture. I wasn't there, but I could see that happening because I've seen it. When I came as an immigrant, I've seen it. That's how it happened with me. And usually it reenacts itself, and you can see by the talent who's the best at it. And hands down, when it comes to picking up that mic, scratching the wheels of steel, it was black folk, number one. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So the division, right? It's like you said, it's not the people that elected Fat Joe. Some people some people in positions of power and some of the people that are brainwashed to seeing him like on large platforms, right? Or like, oh, he must be a good person or whatever. He must be that guy, right? But
Well,
overall,
he knows how to play along with those sentiments in people. He knows how
right. But what
to
I'm
gas
saying
people
though
on the
is that
line.
like now when you look in the comments, when you see the division and stuff, right? These things that he said are being held against Latinos as a group as a
That's
whole,
because
and
it's
a
because
blanket
nobody
is
denounced
being
them.
put on
Because you
them.
have to. That's why it's the power of this right of denouncing. If you don't rock with them,
Then say it.
mind your business, man. Say it. Say, yo, I don't think like Joe.
Yeah.
Unless you're scared. But he put out
Because
that
not
fear
all
factor.
Latinos feel
He put
that
out that
way.
fear factor also. Can't take that away. That if you disagree with him or you go against him, you're gonna, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna regret it. Either
Right.
businessly or, you're gonna get beat up if you're in the industry. People are scared in the industry. And my advice is just stop being pussy. Just stop being pussy, man, and be a real individual for once in your life. Stop trying to, take what the devil gives you all the time. Speak up on God first. Speak up on God for once in your life. Speak the truth that you know you're hiding. Because I know everybody in the industry got a story where they can say, yo, I seen that dude. Because he did it in the street. He did it in the street. He never changed. He added that to the way he handles the business, and he scared a lot of people. He befriended a lot of, he stepped over cutthroats just to get to where people are. People that invited him into their circles. He took, he acted like they befriending them, and then he took whatever he took from them, kicked them down, and took their spot. That's his whole schematics of how he's been moving around in the industry. He knows how to rub. He knows how to impress the right people. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to suck balls to the right people. Until he's in the same power position as them. Then, if he disagrees with them, then he turns the whole circle around against you. After he done learned everything he could from you, and you put him in the right way to go.
Right. He disposes of people easily.
You know what I'm saying? And,
But you get what I'm saying though, right? Because it's like almost inciting like a race war.
that's the problem I got with it. That's how deep.
Yeah, because the people are saying like, oh, all Latinos feel like this, or all Latinos have been racist against us, and blah,
That's
blah, blah.
what I don't like, and that's
like,
why I got to speak up for the Latinos that understand my way of seeing it. You know what I'm saying? My way of seeing it.
Because I don't like blanket statements because it's never true. Not everything is true. You can't put everybody
and if
into
he ever
that.
cared for the community and cared for the hip hop fans, he would have been already gave a statement of how he feels the unity of what really hip hop means to him. But he don't care about that. He wants to either put the pressure on the board of council, which is mostly probably black folk, and he wants to show them the power of the Puerto Rican. That's why he pitched the power of the Latino people. Oh, because they could tell him that he could shut them down, but he could say, "Oh, he's in charge of saying so Latinos won't buy your records either." He could say that. He could negotiate with that power. You understand? And meanwhile, you have a war in the street because of a man's greediness and doing what he do. I'd rather preach the unity part of it.
Yeah.
I'd rather tell the truth, like I always been, and give the proper people their credit. That's all. Because they say that's important. See, I'm a MC who didn't get my credit. I'm an MC also was fighting for my brother that didn't get his just due, his credit in many ways. And I had to sit back and watch the people react to our stories, to my brother's punch story and his family story, like, oh, she must have did something wrong. Like something to justify somebody stealing money and a dream from that guy that helped him achieve his, went overboard as a friend, shared his talent, was invited to his family, my brother thought that Joe would have his back, and the dude turned the whole wheels around on Pun and his family to rob them blind and rob the state blind for 20 years. And then even when he's found guilty and he's ordered to pay, and there's no way that y'all could now say he wasn't guilty and he didn't do this purposely. No, it's already documented in court documents that this is what happened. He abused his power with Pun and with Pun's family, and he robbed them for 20 years. Fought tooth and nail for 20 years, debunking every lawyer that came along the way, like Liza got to fight her case. Nobody even wanted to represent her. And finally, when she wins, then the people still say, oh, it was her fault. How you? That's what I seen. I seen it, and I seen hip hop, the culture of hip hop embrace him.
Right.
That's crazy. And I watched it. I'm a testament to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's crazy how that happened. And all I try to do is keep trying to open the eyes up of those that could do something about it in them levels to see, yo, this is what y'all turning hip hop to? The devil's tool to really cut throat and be that kind of example to the youth. That's why the youth are killing each other. They think they gotta have no more bodies. That's how you're gonna get a deal. You gotta go to jail to get a deal. That's the culture y'all creating. That's what y'all showing them. You know what I mean? So that's wrong in all its aspects. So who's gonna wake up? Who's gonna wake up? Y'all keep waiting for the devil to make a mistake. When the archangels are telling y'all, yo, you need to change and try to take things in a positive way. And how many examples of those type of disgusting stories and y'all electing the criminal. y'all electing the guy that's tearing this whole culture down. Y'all letting a false prophet represent for a group of people and leading them into the barnyard for his own selfish, things that he got in his heart. Like you've seen this already. There's examples. So that's where I'm at, like spiritually with it, emotionally with it, and businessly with it. So you know what I'm saying? And always it's also about the talent. Because another thing, the devil can hide, but he can't hide forever. A con man could con you, but he can't con you forever. So if you could, live long enough, you're gonna see him. You're gonna see his demise coming. So the man in the mirror really should be, look at yourself, Joe, what you've done. There should be some compassion and reflection of all the things you've done that ended up him being in the position he's in by something as such simple as disagreeing with somebody else is how he said it. You know what I'm saying? How he demeaned them. What's his character like when he's on top? I guess with money in his pocket and his family is good and everybody. But those are the people he robbed. He doesn't look back in that mirror and go, yo, what happened with Punch's kids, man, when they had to be in the shelter? I didn't help them. How he sees, he doesn't think that way. He doesn't have that. And what I'm saying by that, he's not supposed to if he's entitled to it. But like Pun is entitled for you to show him like love and compassion because he made you. He renamed you. He made you a dope MC. That you fool the world with everybody. He gave you the Don Cartagena title. He told you where to go, the direction to go. He wrote your rhymes and everything that you did in Don Cartagena. So he changed your whole life, career, and you couldn't even. And then the same way I'm telling you that he didn't give Pun part of Terror Squad. I'm telling you, Pun at that time when he got the $10 million deal for Terror Squad, which is the same time I got my deal, my Cuban Link deal with Atlantic Records. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I got 60,000 up front, and then the rest he was in charge of. I have to explain this point just in case y'all didn't get in the other one. He was in charge of, so he was the green lighting or the red lighting the money. So, I only seen 60,000 up front. That's my bonus. That's it. It was a $1.4 million deal. But all that other stuff was marketing, was, everything else, the videos, you know what I'm saying? But he was in charge of telling him where to go and putting the money wherever, allocate the money to the places he wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Then he had the nerve to say I only, my pre-orders was like 5,000 copies, which is a lie. And that's when you could tell the liar, the same guy who told the stories that he did an album with Biggie and all of that. The same person that said that, all these things he chopped up some guys with a machete when he was 10 years old to save a lady. Those are the liars. It's the same lie. This is a serious lie, though, when he put that dirt on my name, and messing with my money, he assassinated my character, and he messing up my brand to the world by stating things like, a lie like Cuban Link's pre-orders were only 5,000 copies. You even recognize that as the lies at that time, where I'm supposed to be next. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did to skip my turn, to promote this to the actual Atlantic Records, Fred Common, and him, siding with them and say, yo, forget about Cuban Link. I could go in, I got my album ready. That's what he did. You know why he did that? Because, like I said, he also had a $10 million deal that he was giving Terror Squad $10 deal, $10 million deal with them. At the same time I got my deal, he worked himself to get a Terror Squad deal at the same time. So he got 2 deals at the same time. He wanted to put that before my album. When I'm supposed to be the next one up after Pun's Yeah Baby. I mean, before after the Don Cartagena album, because it was Pun, Capital Punishment. Then it was Joe's Don Cartagena. Then I was set up to come because I already put my work in and people were expecting for Cuban Link's project to come out. But it made sense for his pockets to put out the Terror Squad album first. Because 90% of that money coming back now, or something like that, 80 or 90, he was going to get as his own label. So he put the Terror Squad album out. You understand? From that Terror Squad album, he came to me, Pun, and the rest of the crew, and he allocated money. He gave us a speech, you're going to work with me. We ain't got no money. I ain't got the budget like that. We got to show improvement. Because after already, Capital Punishment went platinum and Joe Don Cartagena went gold. So we wasn't up to it. I'm over here worried about my album. So he came and he said, I remember Pun specifically going to Pun's house. Actually, I was in the office, Terror Squad office in Manhattan, and he called us over there. And I seen the list of the breakdowns of what he's given us. And it was Pun, he's given 15,000 to. It was my name, 10,000. It was Triple Safe, 7,500. Is Armageddon, 10,000. It was Prospect. I think he gave Prospect like 5,000 because he was just coming in. He just at that time Prospect, was just inducted to the Terror Squad. And Tony Sunshine didn't get nothing. He wasn't on that list. You know what I'm saying? That's when we brought in Tony Sunshine. He was singing hooks with us. So this is the budget for the artists of Terror Squad, the label that Fun already blew up the brand and everything. They didn't get a piece of the action as far as like any shares in Terror Squad. And he got the nerve. And at the time, like I said, Pun was getting 75,000 to 100,000 a feature and shows. He was doing shows for 75 to 1,000 to 100,000 for shows. And the problem with that, it's not like Pun was getting that money, right? Pun still had to pay Joe 50% of that. So at the end of the day, if Pun had a show for 100,000, Joe would get 50,000 of the top. If Pun had a feature for 75,000, or let's just say 100, Joe would get 50% for that of every feature. So this is how this is how the greed of, excuse my word again. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to quit it, slow it down, that word, because, I know it's offensive and, you're right. Y'all right. We have to be mindful of what we do, especially at this age, and especially, you know what I'm saying, how we talk about the subject, because it's serious. I don't want you to get, misled. But he was getting 50% of Pun's everything. Just like he did with the publishing, 50% of that too when he sold it to Jelly Bean Benitez. So out of 350,000, which Pun sold his publishing for, he got half of 350,000 with Pun. That's why it was 25 and 25, which is 50%. And then Jelly Benitez bought 50%. That equals a whole 100%. Trying to break it down as fast as I could. But this guy was eating and we wanted him to eat. But when it's the reward back that he's supposed to give back and show his love back was with Terror Squad. He got that deal for $10 million. And he got it through me, trying to get me a deal. Because I said, my nigga, go ahead, give me a deal. You know what I'm saying? So he went out there and I was hot enough that Atlantic Records wanted me. And then from there, he polyed the deal with it for himself, the Terror Squad deal. That's not enough. That wasn't enough for him. You know what I'm saying? His greed. And if he would have treated people right, it would have been understood, certain things. But we let him, like I said, I let him go, and I didn't pay too much mind to it. Of course, let me get back to going to Pun's house, and Pun talking to me about this. He said, my brother told me this. I said, you believe this, nigga? You believe this, dude? I don't even got nothing in the game. I don't got nothing. He's trying to give me 15,000 Cuban. I was like, disgusting. But remember, my mom was like,
15,000 for what?
For the performance in the whole Terror Squad album. Not just one song, the whole Terror Squad album. He paid 15,000. That's why Pun wasn't in too many songs.
So the breakdown that you were saying was how much he was giving each person for the Terror Squad album.
The whole album to perform. And that, like every song that we have to. But we're supposed to do like one single and then do some features with each other, like 4 or 5 songs with each other, like, you know what I'm saying, like collaboration.
Oh, so this is not stage money or anything. This is just for the album.
No, this is just, he got $10 million and he broke down, that was the breakdown of what he's going to pay the artist to perform, to be part of this album. But we're the Terror Squad. Like, Pun is the main Terror Squad.
Right.
How you going to give him $15,000 for the whole album? And then besides that, he was getting 50% of Pun when he did features and shows. That's how much he was taking from Pun.
So he was getting like 50,000 of Pun's money per show, basically.
If Pun would do a show for $100,000, it's half of that, which he gets 50,000 just for booking a show. And he didn't, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't have to even go. Pun could go and do the show by himself, but Pun still had to break him off with half.
Wow.
That was the deal he has. That was the abuso. That was the abuse. That you know, after a while, you know, I know my brother came in just, okay, that's paying dues. Because he always just throw that in our face. They're paying dues, like I said before. So we said, you know what? All right, let me make our mark. You know, in the beginning, he said, let me make our mark. You know what I'm saying? We prove what the talent we got, how much I'm worth. Then I could negotiate that later on, which they did at the end of the day before, you know. And it's crazy if Pun passed away, but I remember when Pun was up, they was in the works in the lawyer's office trying to fix that. I don't know if they came up with a number. Liza could attest to that more if they came with a number, but I think he did. That's why he did the Yeah Baby album. I think he lowered it maybe to 20%, because Miles was at 20% with Joe. Because they try to, even Pun tried to get me to have the same deal he had, like give Joe 50% of everything, you know what I'm saying, and all of that. And I was like, nah, man, you crazy? You know what I'm saying? There's only fair. I said 20. At the high, you know, Chris Lighty gets 20%. So, you know what I'm saying? We settled at 20, and that's when he got my deal and all that. And that's when he got that deal. But then the Terror Squad album, he showed that was the situation where he's supposed to show the appreciation he had for Pun. You know
Q,
what I'm saying?
Can we go back a little bit? When you had that conversation with Pun, right? When he said, can you believe that he's only trying to give me 15,000? You said, what was the full conversation like?
It was that. My brother was really mad, but he was like, just so disappointed more. Like, I can't even believe.
So he was hurt by Joe.
I said, he's disgusted, man. We was trying to find really excuse it, because he did the old, you know, yo, they didn't give me all up front. You know, they did this, they did that. He did that to us. But Pun already knew, like, this thing, he playing me. But he didn't want to mess it up for all of us. That's what it was. He didn't want to mess it up for the you know, the artist, which was us, coming behind him, because he's seen the bigger thing. What Joe wanted him to do is to abuse, for him to abuse us like he abused him, like a Ponzi scheme. That's what it was. But I didn't fall for it, and I said 20%. I stood firm on mine, and Pun was at the end, was like, don't want to cue it. That's why when I got my first paycheck, the $60,000, I told him, yeah, I'm gonna give you 25%, my brother. And I showed up in his house with what's 25% of, I think I got
15,000.
15,000. So whatever that was exactly the 25%. So that's why I came to his house with the envelope, and I dropped it while he was sleeping in his living room. And you know what I'm saying? I came and I dropped it in his chest. He didn't want to wake up. I think he was playing it off. He knew I was coming. The first thing I did was go over there, hit him in the stomach, and I give him a kiss in the forehead. I love you, my brother. And I gave him that envelope, you know, with 12,500 on it. So that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? And then the flex, which was the...
Wait. 12,500? I thought you said 15,000.
No, 12,500 is what I gave him.
So that's not 25% then?
Whatever is 25, what's 25% of what's 12,000.5, the 25% of?
So he gave you 50,000 only, not 60,000.
What's 12.5? If I took 12.5 for what number?
Right, that's what I'm saying. So it was 50,000.
How much?
50,000.
So then 50,000 is what I got.
Got you. Okay.
That's what, you know, that's how I go by it. I might have messed up on the number of my upfront money. So I got 50,000. You know, so, but I was cool with that. You know why? Because when Pun came on, he told me he got 30 as a bonus. And that's really 60. Because Joe took of his upfront money that Loud gave Pun, he took 30 and 30. But I thought it was always that he got 30. So 50,000 on me, like, okay, we're moving up. You know what I'm saying? So I was mad. But then I started finding out the game, started learning the game. And that's when I was like, I started catching on. And then But like I said, I didn't put too much mind to the behind the scenes. But I remember that conversation with Pun, where it's like, yo, this dude is jerking me, and he's doing like abuse style. But we never been victims. You know what I'm saying? Like Pun took it like show. Now that I went platinum, I got to renegotiate my deal. He knows when you go gold or platinum, you renegotiate your deal. That's what Joe always told him. So it was cool with that. But then, like I said, when Joe got his money, he did his worst for the actual label. He did his own artist worst.
How do you think Pun really felt about Joe because of the way that
he loved Joe?
It's been painted. No, wait. The way that it's been painted is that they were super close.
Oh, he painted that with his own brush. But right. if you
he makes it seem like he was closer to Pun than even you were.
That's why even Liza has a way of saying like, like Pun did a lot of things for Joe. Liza was, she was a witness. I was a witness. The whole terrorist fucking Sage, Triple Sage, Prospect, Tony Such, he was witness of us. More Pun than everybody. Penning down. We used to have think tanks in his house, like I said, in Pun's living room, and write Joe's rhymes so he could be ready. So our brother that put my brother on to show appreciation, we was working together to make him who he became as an MC. You know what I'm saying? He's a great mimicker. He's a great person that, if he sees something, if he see Pun, that's why he sounded so much like Pun. So we taught that nigga that. We was outside the booth, and we was like, nah, do that over. Like we did the Eazy-E, what Drake did for Eazy-E and all of that. Ice Cube did for Eazy-E in that movie, Straight Outta Compton. That's what we did for Joe. You know what I'm saying? But he was a little better, of course. He knew how to flow. But his flow was old already. He was getting old. Like, it was boring. He was saying shit like mash the toes. So he was never a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? But he had the flow. He had a flow that we would work with, and he worked it. You know what I'm saying? He knew how to just fit in, and go along. And then we made him look dope. The other MCs, like myself, I know I made him look dope when he had another, like a pretty dude that he wanted to exploit the fact that I'm a pretty boy, whatever. That's how he told me. I never looked at myself as that. But I went with it, right? Whatever decisions, there was the higher ups. So I just listened, even though it didn't fit me to the point that I know I'm a lyricist where I love just lyrics and I know I could make a hardcore song where I could make a girl song. I'm just a musician like that, right? He didn't see me in that aspect. That's why it was hindering me that he took me in the avenue he took me. And it didn't really connect with the people the way he should have. You know what I'm saying? Like I proved already what kind of MC I am. I could go in any, and I have the double barrel. Like I said, it's Spanish I could do it, English I could do it. You know what I'm saying? I have so many things to me, and I was the pen. You know what I'm saying? I was one of the pens. So
the amount that he improved from the first album, Represent, to Jealous One's Envy, you guys obviously had something to do with that.
But everybody, remember, we didn't know this at the time, but Represent was key players to helping. His two big hits was King's Son, was, The Shit Is Real, and Flojo. Right. You know what I'm saying? The best two songs he had was those. That was my favorite. That's what we had. So even when we thought we was fans of him, it wasn't really him. It was somebody else already helping him. So this is his MO from the start. We didn't know that. We respected him on being a lyricist, but man, we really got into it. You know what I'm saying? And then he did the Jealous One's Envy, and that was Armageddon. And Keith Nutt. That was Armageddon of Keith Nutt. His hype.
I know you guys helped a lot on the what you call it, Don Cartagena, but on Jealous One's Envy, how much did you guys help on that one?
That was Armageddon, and that was Keith Nutt.
Got you. Okay. Because that was the first time that we heard Pun pretty much.
There. That's when he was like, you know what I'm saying? That was when he did the Bronx is the wrong place to visit. So that's when I introduced Pun to Joe in front of that store, and then he took him after a week. He took him to the studio and Pun laid that verse down. But that album was already almost done when Pun got in it. But that style, that everything already, he was trying to be like Nas and everything. And he already had a team of writers, which were Armageddon was, one of them, like the number one. Armageddon, and then Keith Nutt. That would do probably the same sessions we was doing. They getting together and writing to do some hot rhymes. And it was okay. That's why it was okay. He was getting a little better. You know what I'm saying? And maybe it was his thought of the direction he wanted to be going in, but that was that episode right there. Then you see the dramatical change from the Jealous One's Envy to the Don Cartagena. And you can see, obviously, y'all all seen that Pun was the one who showcased that style. You know what I'm saying? The style that we cultivated. Really, what I'm saying is when me and Pun used to write together, I was my partner in all of that, right? So we had that same style, similar styles of spitting fast, of getting lyrical with it, putting words together format, because, we was always like Coogee Rap fans, and we was like Rakim fans and Big Daddy Kane fans. So it's like a mix of all of that. And, we just, when we put that pen up, we always thought that style was us. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Pun, of course, was, the master of that style. Me, I was still like, trying to embrace the fact that, am I going to be a rapper? You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. So it used to take a long time to write. But that was like, before Pun knew me, I had that style already. You know what I'm saying? Pun had a little older style. That's not saying he got it from me, but when we started writing together, it was just like magic. That we knew that this is the style to kill a song with. You know what I'm saying? So we just rolled like that. And he talked about the topics that he talked about with the vocabulary he did. And I did mine. More a little simplistic, you know what I'm saying? But more sharpy and snappier with the metaphors. You know what I'm saying? Pun was just more intricate and he had he had everything to be a star. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like that, cultivating that style that Joe was spitting after on the Don Cartagena album, that's us. That's Pun. You could go all the credit right there to Pun influence that and Pun writing that.
I would like to get your expertise because I feel like a lot of people kind of like wrote it off as hip hop was evolving and the style was changing. So that Joe was just adapting to that. But how likely is it for
that's
an
what he
artist?
Wanted you to think.
Right. But how likely is it for an artist to get that exponentially better from Flow Joe style to all of a sudden?
If you're a copycat, if you are a person that looks at things and just mimics them and do a okay job, yeah, you could do that. I know a lot of people that, they're great entertainers. Puffy did it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Joe had way more swagger than Puffy, though, with like saying the rhymes on the beat. He had more flow than Puffy. But that's what Puffy did. You know what I'm saying? Puffy, well, at least Puffy tell you, these dudes wrote that for me.
Right.
And even if he jerks them later on, but at least you give him the credit. He don't go crazy with it, but if you ask him, he'll tell you, nah, he wrote that. You know what I'm saying? He got no problem doing that. But Joe is different. Joe got that ego inside that he knows that he comes from the school that, you have to write your own rhymes. So it's embarrassing for him to give the next man his credit. You know what I mean? And when I say this, I see it because of the album. That World Has Changed on Me. Oh my God. That is the most garbage album, not even just from Joe, I think in the history of hip hop.
You listen to it?
Yeah. I never heard so much trash at the level of MCing that he's in, that he thought that this was dope or even cool that he could get away with it. Like, this is so trash. For me, as an MC, and I'm looking at it with an open eye. Like, it's just so trash of where his pen should be, of where the pen of the state of hip hop should be. Like, I heard other MCs and they impressed me, regardless if they're not spitting what I was spitting, but the style, the love for it, the cadence, it comes out through them. When I hear this Joe shit, it's everything he didn't want to show the world before, because other people was writing for him, and they was there, nurturing the fact that he say it right, he get it right. But this means that he don't got those talented people in his corner no more. He really thought that he was that rich or that powerful that he could he must have believed his own gas that he could do this on his own. And that's when the devil fuck up. So
I didn't listen to the album,
I
but
listened to
saw
like eight cuts. It was only 11 cuts, but everything. The one with,
I saw him on the radar, when he was rapping on there, where the microphone's on there and stuff. So I saw him on there, and what he was rapping, it kind of sounded like the style he was trying to do, like this new style of current era.
The content of it, the lyrical content, the metaphors, the similes, the setups and punchlines sucks. And I know I can't be. I mean, he already got reviews where people feel like I did without even me posting anything. I see some reviews and be like, "Yo, Joe, that was garbage," from younger people. So maybe that's why he's mad also. He's mad. He's blaming the FBA. You know what I'm saying? That, they ain't hating on my album. So maybe it's that too. So they just against me. They just racist against me. That's what he's doing. 100% that's what he's doing. He's pointing fingers of his talent being whack that other people don't like it. Because he had a listening party, remember? He had him there. So it was a lot of critics.
Math was there.
I'm glad they told the truth. But he's not the type of dude that you tell the truth to help him. He think you help him. It's like you against him or you hating on him because he got so much money and he's the guy. How can you say my shit's whack? It's that type of attitude. And that's why the devil always gonna lose. That ego, ooh, that pride. When you know you're wrong, and it's a mirror. You seen him looking in that mirror. He's just getting the wrong messages from that mirror. That mirror is like mirror, mirror on the wall, telling them the wrong thing. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see Lord Jamar was saying that there's a line on the album where he says, they said that I can't use the N-word, and then he proceeds to like say it a bunch of times after to kind of like prove his point.
I think black folk will let you say it if you are worthy of saying it with some respect on it, with the right definition, and notice that you're saying it and give the love where it should be given to. Maybe the story attached with it. You know what I'm saying? Not even I'm trying to defend that word because I'm trying to stop too. Because I told you I could never defend that word. I told you on that, you know what I'm saying, on your own podcast when we did an interview. I said, yo, that's happening in New York because the unity and everything. But when you go outside of New York, it's different things. That word means a whole different thing. And across the world, it means even worse. So I'm not into this to try to defend that word and say, nah, I could say it because I was. You can't say that after you understand the world and how that word, you know, it's that got that negative power behind it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in this to be defending that word. I think I'm bigger than that. And if I know that is that bad, I gotta change it. Or I gotta try, even though I mess up sometimes, but y'all know, but I'm not gonna abuse the fact that, okay, just because y'all know, I'm gonna just use it whenever I want to. And make us look like clowns. And that's what Joe did. Punk ass motherfucker.
You know what's so crazy is the timing. It makes you feel almost like divine intervention. Because
God his ways, kid.
Right.
I told you this is spiritual for a long time. It's been spiritual. You know what I'm saying? For those that are involved in this, like the Joe and what he's done in the past, like even, you know, the Liza with all that, and people that's been affected, it's definitely the reality. It's definitely biblical. And it's definitely, you know, devil and God working it. It's that deep because it's that powerful, the story. You know what I'm saying? That's what's so, and the main thing, the main objective of in this case, the devil, which is the egghead, Dumpty Dumpty over there, Beluga Whale, he don't want us to say the truth. He don't want the story to get out the way it should be. That's why he hid it, and he used hip hop to cover it up.
All right, well, let me go here with this though.
And that's where hip hop fans and the foundational black, Americans, that's when they should take it personal that he try to use hip hop to bury a disgusting secret and help and use hip hop to manipulate that situation. They should take accountability for that. I'll blame hip hop. And if they do that, that's God at work.
So when I interviewed Smooth, I didn't know that all of this was going to happen with Joe. And he was the one that brought up the whole racism thing, right? Then you and I do an interview and talk about what Smooth was saying. And
we did that before he did this. This is before we was talking already before. That's why it was already,
But that's what I mean, the timing. Because our clip, I wasn't supposed to put that out until like a week and a half later or something like that.
That's how you know we with God. That's how you know God got our back even when we don't even know it. That's why I always praise the Lord. And I know that he's giving us help for a reason. And it's not even help. It's just, believe me, we on the right track. It's not in the track to destroy anybody. It's the track to get our truth out. And if the truth destroys you or whoever is part of this, cover up and this, pushing to the side an agenda. I mean, a subject and a matter that was so important to hip hop. It's a story of hip hop that you have to own it. You cannot get away with it because of soldiers that's standing behind this. It's like it's something. You can't hide these scars, brother. You can't hide these scars. Wear them, and I wear them with class, and I wear them never with proudness of who I am as a warrior, but never with satisfaction I got justice for it, because they was done wrong. So actually, I feel like it's the pussiest scars to have because some nigga from behind that did it. They didn't have the nerve to stand out because that's how warriors from my side come. That's what this African, Cuban, Afro, Cubano from the real side of things that was part of a movement that helped to put Latinos in the lyrical category as far as hip hop Black Americans. They embraced me and Pun definitely, and then from there it's not like they gave me love because of Pun. No, I earned mine too because the lyrics and the content I had and putting hip hop in that kind of stratosphere when I touched that mic. So that's the talent. The other, the egghead guy, the beluga didn't have. And he was sitting in the sidelines looking at us with that jealous eye. We thought he was our friend. And we put our careers in his hands thinking he was going to, take care of his brothers that helped him and that put him in, that did so much for him out of love and to change our lives. Because we did it to change every brother that we had around his lives. You know what I'm saying? And he changed that. He did a heist. He did a robbery against his own kind, his own team, and he manipulated the system because I think he told the biggest lie ever to certain people, and he covered it up with money. Even to those that know it, they shut up because of money, the fear, and the power y'all let them have. And that's where it's gonna the chickens are gonna come to roost one day, man. I mean, Malcolm said it, but they
All right, so Math was on Star's podcast like you were, right? But Math defended his actions, saying he doesn't care how anyone feels about it. A lot of people felt like he was supposed to check Joe, but when he said what he did, he just laughed instead. What did you think about him laughing instead of saying something to Joe?
I felt like he showed you what side he taking and how he feels about real situations of how he felt about the FBA, the Foundation of Black Americans. It felt like, it was above them, bigger than those, so they can say whatever they feel. And it's funny because that's his man's. And you know what I'm saying? That's his man's, and he probably shared the same feelings, you know what I'm saying, that Joe was saying. Because he probably went through something with the same group. I don't know. I'm saying that laughter wasn't the top choice there to do. You know what I'm saying? And now you're trying to retract it and say, in a way, apologize and try to give, how you sum up hip hop, the unity and the who invented hip hop. You try to talk in a different tone now because you got checked. You got checked, and you only got checked because the business affected your business. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really like naturally that came out of you said that. You know what I'm saying? And these are people that they praise their money. These are people that worship their money. And as long as, they getting that bread, they couldn't care two shits about how the hip hop community feels. It's what's moving the needle. And they are part of that moves the needle. So they feel entitled now to say whatever they want. And they could voice, their agenda they could inject it into the system. And even if it's rewriting history, they think that they got the power to do that because people made them feel that way. The money made them feel that way. You know what I'm saying? And instead of being humble and really being gatekeepers, responsible gatekeepers, and being knowledgeable of there's people that feel that way, and really, invite them in a positive way or disagreeing with them in a respectful way. They choose this manner to show the viewers or new viewers of how hip hop is being really the people that we put that are in positions that we give a voice to, how they're manipulating the voice that they got to make fun of our culture. And that's how I take it. That's how deep I take it. I'm very forgiving for somebody if they did something wrong, if they got the right explanation, and you don't, because you can see right through these people. They on camera, guys. You could see this. It's not like before they hiding behind the scene and they could issue an apology with a statement that somebody else wrote. But they doing this in front of us, and we see the sincerity of them. You see the realness. You see the background of it. You see the first reaction how they did it. Do it matches the apology, and it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? And it's not about a dollar sign you could pay for me to accept you again. All I'm asking for you is a free piece of your heart to make me believe that you didn't really feel that way about that. Because I believe people make mistakes. But these two guys, like Math got a history of doing stupid shit. Stuffing people while he grabbing, breaking the rules, being a knucklehead, the thug dude, just create crazy kids and end up coming back and apologizing. Nah, this is a serious topic because it deals with the foundation of this culture we in. So I think a little more respect. That's what it is. The lack of respect was really that red button came on to fans of hip hop, and rightly so. And
So I want to shout out Star, because Star is always showing love to you, to me. Star's a good dude, man. Yeah, but he didn't want you to talk about Math too much on his podcast because he's trying to smooth things over between you and Math. He wants you to get on Math's podcast. What do you think is the odds of that happening?
Listen, like I said, I'm a dude that you can have a conversation with, man. Once I know you don't got an agenda to help my enemy look right or set me up for me to fail, because I know the tricks that we play. And Star, like I said, being neutral sometimes hurt the overall goal. You know what I'm saying? And like by putting things like that together, I can't trust Math to the point that I know he got respect for my craft and he got respect for the story I went through. And he knows that I'm telling the truth instead of, promoting the fact that I'm a type of dude with a character that's able to lie to get some views. Because that's why he said after Nori, when Nori made that statement, he can never interview Cuban Link because of his relationship with Fat Joe, which is known. It's known. He said it. I even thanked him for it. I didn't even get mad at Nori. But we already know when you do take a thing like that, your whole scheme of things again towards Cuban Link is to make sure you throw some back, assassinate his character, don't bring his name up, talk about negative, stop his business, don't let him get relationships with guys you got relationships with. That comes with all of that. So what do you think you're doing at Cuban Link, even though you're saying, y'all got a problem with Cuban Link? That's what you're doing at Cuban Link. And you know this if you're a businessman. So they're cool with that. So that equals down to being my enemy. You're against me. Stop trying. The only reason you're not doing it, because it might not be personal, because we did have a relationship and you got love from me. And in a personal way, we shared some good times and you got no problems with me, really. The only problem is Joe. So I thank Nori on that note for exposing that, even though he thought he'd be a good friend. This is how dumb motherfuckers always trip over themselves. But I appreciated the fact he put it out there. You know what I'm saying? To planted that seed. And then when he planted that seed, you see immediately how Math followed it. And he had to now go there, because who's being the puppet master of this assassination of my character for no reason? Now Math had to get on and say, sure, I always respect what Cuban and Pun did. They were dope. You know what I'm saying? But I have to think again. You have to think again to have a guy like that on his platform. You know what I'm saying? Because he might just say an outlandish story it made up, and it had no merit to it. And you might get a couple of 100,000 views, but you know what I'm saying? Is the integrity really worth it? How are you going to say that about me when it's actually the opposite? You should take everything that I say for real, and as real as I say it, because I lived it, I went through it. It's been documented, but nobody wants to speak on it, right? But you see the agenda of everybody slowly, going, smelling Joe nuts for some reason. I'm telling you the truth. I'm exposing it right here because I'm telling you how it's ran. I just didn't know the depth of it, or how low can they stoop to stand up for a guy like that when he's taking us in the direction in which he's taking us in, and he's buying people off of money, which only shows the worth you have. The worth, these people that we're making gatekeepers and making them famous and popular, look who we're making famous. So you think they're going to do when they get to that famous and rich spot? They're going to do the same thing they follow the leader to. They're going to do what Joe did and going to follow that because they could be bought. They got a price tag to them. So if you believe that you can honor and idolize a guy with a price tag instead of somebody that got no money to gain and telling you the truth, just because you want to share the story and really doesn't want the future generation of artists or, to alert the people of these type of devils live around our world that we in that. And, I'm identifying certain things of how wrong things went down because it's a real story. And not just me, involving somebody that really cared about a brother that I came in to this hip hop with, saying that was Puerto Rican and I'm Cuban. And we met each other 1,000 miles away. It was destiny for me and that brother. We touched that pen and that mic. That the black culture was so, so willing and given to us to let us in and represent and accept us, to the guy that they barely accepted and takes advantage of it, that we trusted him to just do his job, because we was paying him, do his job and guide us through the business roads and protect us, because protecting us is protecting himself. And give him money, make him money with our talent. And then for that guy to turn that around after my brother died, the guy who put him on, turn it around on me. I know I've been loyal, not from the streets to the mic, and wanted the best for him. And I had nothing but, a business disputes with him. For him to set it up the way he set it up, that's not respected by a real nigga. Underhanded, backstabbing, those qualities, and then go around and then use the truth of others' pain and struggle and demean it, and then buy people off so they can side with them, and people actually react to it and do it, and then just talk about the next guy that they know nothing about or never interview, and earn the guy who earned the podium at least to be interviewed because he got a history. I know he didn't think I'm not lying. That's the problem. My truth is so powerful that I've been shunned away and I've been casted away because of that by the hierarchies, because he's been having that influence, throughout all the years, from DJs to podcasts to business, owners. You know what I'm saying? So this is the thing he's been done, and this is the guy now. He had to trip over himself, really, and say who he really is, really, and show who he really is by a couple of words for y'all to really put the magnifying glass on him. And that's okay with me. That's okay with me, because I know they're going to trip one day. I just ask y'all to be here to watch it. And listen, at the end of the day, it's about talent. I'm talking about the talent that I put out, talent I was, the credit that I know I put in, the work and everything I gave. I gave up my family, the time spending with my family, seeing my son, grow up, instead, being in those, y'all already know how to get the game is. It's 24/7. So that time that I put away, it didn't amount, if anything, it was a money number to it. Of course, there was a money number to it that I got jerked by. But then my voice to be really silenced because of a lie or a shame, an embarrassment that the other guy has, and he could buy the buying of the next people in those kind of levels of this section of hip hop of the business side that manipulate them like that. And they give him the power to is even more disrespectful, because he wasn't working alone. I know me and him me and him had a problem, but then he's involving other people by shutting down my truth. And the people went along with it. It's even worse. So that little mistake where he tripped over and he said those wrong things about the FBA. Yeah. Sometimes you got to trip once to never stop falling. So, what I'm saying, it's only karma. I didn't start it off. So shout out to Star. Shout out to Star. Because I respect, that's the dude that I met back in the days when I first came in the game. And he always showed me love physically in front of him and on radio when I wasn't around. And he always gave me the props. He gave pundits props. You know what I'm saying? He always gave Joe love too back then. You know what I'm saying? But whatever he's the guy that shoots it straight down the middle, regardless. And he's seen the same thing I had seen. And he supported me throughout the years, regardless if the industry don't mess with me. He always shouted me out, gave me love. And he always refers back to the Still Telling Lies song that we did. And he's one of the pioneers to me. He's one of those dudes that started with his own charisma, his own talent, from Hot 97 to, MTV to everything. He always made a mark, and he set his brand right, and he stood by what he said. Even when he made mistakes, he still stood with it and took his bad with his good and admitted when he was wrong and everything. You know what I'm saying? And, he's been a real critic of hip hop. And when I watch his show, The Star Report, he definitely says things, even though he says it in his own way with the funny and his own, spice to it. He says the truth. And I respect that in that man. I appreciate him. And, but that situation where, I called in right after Math, because Math definitely called him up, tried to fix it up. And Star, as the veteran he is, he wasn't even playing. He was even putting the blame on Math. He said, no, you did your job. Listen, Math, he was trying to stick up for Joe so bad and probably felt bad for that he was in his podcast that was said in. He's trying to rectify the situation with Star because he heard Star going in. Star just tried to warn him in between the lines. And Math should know better because he got a block hole in between the lines. He was trying to warn him. Do not get in him, Math. You did what you're supposed to have done. You're supposed to have done, just you asked him a question, he answered it. He has to stand on that by himself. It's not your fault. But Matt kept bringing it to himself and trying to help and save Joe, Captain Save Joe. You know what I'm saying? He tried to play that. And then, and that, to me, that rung a bell immediately because it was like, damn, okay, so our situation with when Matt threw that jab at me, really that that left hook, really, because he said that he tried to assassinate my character by saying that I made that fake paperwork up on Joe, some scrabble on Joe, that I made that up myself. That I can't. He can never have him on his platform because I'm making things up. And what kind of integrity would he have? For him to call Star that day and knowing that he has a relationship with Star, and the truth being that Star is the one who actually put that paperwork on his Star Report show. And I got it from Star because I reposted it from Star's Star Report on my Instagram page. And for him to know Star, and that's how I think Star was trying to tell Q, don't go there. Because I think that he never told me that. He probably told Math the story, and now Math got it. So, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to rectify that with Math, and Math got it. But see, I have a problem trusting people that show me certain kind of snake qualities with them. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know he probably got caught up in the middle of that Nori saying things about me in that way. And he probably thought he had to join the negative Cuban Link fan club to join in that because everybody from Fat Joe's crew was there and he wanted to say something. But at the end of the day, he tried to assassinate my character, brother, with nothing that was true about it. Nothing was true about it that I made that paperwork up. You know what I'm saying? I got it from Star, the guy you called up, and you obviously have a relationship with him. So you definitely got to know the truth that I didn't make that paperwork up. It was actually Star who put that out there. So you got enough respect for Star to call him up and have a conversation with him, but you don't have enough respect or integrity to call me because you made a blunder. You made a mistake of saying those things to assassinate my character and to make everybody think that I'm a guy that's so desperate to be making up paperwork on people. That's never been part of my character. That's really, really a question you should ask yourself. And all I ever wanted from you, I even wrote you back and said, yo, my dude, man, the only logical and respectful thing for a real nigga to do is just with the same energy, make a blog up, dedicate it to me and say, your apologies of you characterizing me in that way because it was your mistake. You didn't know how really that transpired and how that paperwork got to Cuban Link's hands. And that you made a mistake, man, saying that Cuban wasn't the corporate behind that paperwork at all. It's actually somebody that and you got a relationship with. So why is the problem with you knowing you're wrong now? Because the guy who actually, did it first told you. And now you know the history of that. Why don't you just make a blog and take it back? Let the world know from Math Hoffa that still got love for Cuban Link, like we started our relationship and that you made a mistake there. You don't have to give excuses because you wanted to do, rock with Joe and you thought it was true because Joe told you that story. You could just say it was a blunder, man. I got the people that had told me that behind the scenes, whatever, my source in that case gave me the wrong info about Cuban. And, you know what I'm saying? So, salute to Cuban Link. That's all you got to do. All you got to do for free. Nothing. And then I could respect that, but he never did that. He hasn't done it yet, but he got the nerve to call up Star and try to defend Joe on his back. So much, I guess in cahoots he is with the fat snake. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think that our relationship could ever be nothing but, just criticism of each other, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Me pointing out things
needs to be as loud. The apology needs to be as loud as the disrespect.
Of course, and it's earned. It's earned. If you are a man of integrity, and somewhere that I held Math up to from his, just his personality through the battle career, he's supposed to be a real one and all that. Now I see that you're not that I thought about you. So that's more even disappointing. And you're not even a man enough to say when you're wrong. That's a strong quality to have, man, for people to believe in your word and any real nigga, you know what I'm saying? attributes of himself. You know what I'm saying? We want to present to people. But I guess you don't feel that, you know what I'm saying? It's a big thing, but it is a big thing. I always show you that. So that means you don't respect me in the same, in that way. So, you know, that's what I feel is a disrespect. That's all.
That's a bad jacket to put on anybody, though. You know what I mean? To say that, like, you made up some fake paperwork.
Especially when it didn't go the way he said it. Especially when that story was far-fetched as it was. That I made that paper up. I hate somebody so much that I would do that to somebody. That is disgusting to say, because that's far from who I am. My truth is being shot down because of money, of guys that are in podiums that are supposed to be respected and that are held in you know, as a certain kind of way, when they don't got the moral stature to do certain things that really gives them that, you know, those attributes of being, you know, somebody I should listen to, somebody that tells the truth, somebody I should even turn on to and respect that way. So the people got to know that, since he tried to assassinate, you know, say my character on lies. So I have to just rebuttal that with this, so the people can know, yo, listen, this is the guy who's able to do this and not even have no backbone or no courtesy or no honor to admit that he was wrong when he knows the truth because it's been told. To at least try to fix that situation and not make it as personal as he did with me. Because that's personal. You hurting my brand. You hurting my character to the people. And you making it look like Cuban Link is the crazy one that's just, you know, throw people under the bus because he hates you. Because he's you know, he's not in a good position now and he's in the bottom. And, you know, he's just a mad, angry, angry motherfucker that just, you know, hates the world when it's far from who I am. I'm just standing up for my truth and trying to find out certain truths through certain ways, through people, you know what I'm saying, that I got respect for. But anyway, if you don't think that's worthy of an apology, then we already know where we stand. That's it. But I got nothing personal with Matt. Where, you know what I'm saying, I hate for him for that. I just hate the fact that we see it. We see what you're doing, man, and you're better than that. It's really my gripe.
Right. So Math just did a live and he said that it's a weird energy of not just putting blacks against Puerto Ricans, but West Indians and others too. They asked him in the comments to bring on Lord Jamar and Tariq Nasheed, but he said he's worried because it's a certain energy right now and he's not a full podcaster. He doesn't know how to hold back completely like Nori and Joe do, right?
There we go, backpedaling. Got a moonwalk. He's moonwalking backwards. He don't even know how to dance. He's trying to moonwalk backwards after he's put his foot ready to moonwalk. Or he does the running man first and then he moonwalks. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
But he was, during the live, he was choosing his words carefully. That's what Joe should have done. But during the live, he also said he's forever indebted to Joe and says he asked how would he look trying to stop Joe from speaking on a culture.
We have to know now. See, this is real journalist works. If you ever interview Matt, you got to ask him, what made you forever indebted with Joe? What kind of pact? What mafia finger did you cut? And or what you did? Y'all wrestled? Did y'all dick wrestle and he beat you? Like, what happened behind the scenes that it's a forever, ever relationship? You have to, even when he's wrong, you got to make sure that you put the pillow on his head before he fucking hits it with, you know, to the ground. What was the pact that you done that you have to defend him even when he's wrong and he's disgustingly, blatantly rude and makes you look bad and takes you in the avenue with his words? Unless, what did he do for you or you did for him? Did you go?
Well, let me answer that.
Was it a puffy party? Was it a puffy party? Y'all niggas met up and y'all niggas did the baby oil, you know, the Math and the Beluga wrestling match? What happened? We want to know. These are what journalists are made of. Finding out the truth of why these guys got this little, you know, Mayorta, whatever their name is, a pack with each other. Like they the bootleg mob of hip hop.
Let me answer this though, okay? Because what he did say in the live was that he asked how would he look trying to stop Joe from speaking on a culture. He said that after Joe, wait. He said after Joe came on the podcast, it catapulted him. He grew up listening to Joe, and Joe has helped him, advance in the culture.
What are you talking about? Like, you had a violin and some cellos behind you. You know what I'm saying? What do you want? He put me on. He changed my life. And I'm so grateful. Man. Such a dick with a cheeseburger. What do you want, man? What the fuck? All right. That's why I felt like that. He put my brother Pun on and put me on too. I felt he put me on. I gave him nothing but love like this. My brother, forever. He took me out of the hood. I gave him all his props. You know what he did? He made me feel that. He made me believe that at one point for me to sleep. Yeah. Then one day I just woke up with, some scratches in my face. And I seen him lie after that and everything. He did everything in his power to keep me down. When I would just want to do the innocent art of representing this art form called hip hop and showcasing my talent, making my family, changing my family's, class status, proving my fans proud at the end of the day, selling some records, marking my name at the end of the day in ink, saying Cuban Link was here in this hip hop game. For black folk definitely to embrace me and say, yo, he was one of those. That's all I wanted. Now, is that merit? Did that merit a situation where he felt a certain way about me that I didn't know, and then it was uncovered in the lawyer's office where he felt I was whack? He felt maybe I was a burden to him. He wanted to skip this turn after Pun passed away because the capital gain. He knew that was a moment for him to capitalize, but it was my turn. I was standing in his way to do that. And then out of nowhere, he gets the own team. He started telling my own team, the Terror Squad team back in the days, that we all came up together. He started telling lies, and he paid certain people to make me look like I'm wrong, or, to have his side instead of mine.
But Q, let me ask you this, okay?
Wait. I ain't finished. Me saying, you know what? If you feel that way about me, I try to go, legitimate on some business stuff, on some like, yo, my nigga, I was more disappointed in everything. If you feel this way about me, then you know what? All right, then let me my release now. I'll go do my thing some other place. And we leave the office with him stating some facts to the point of after I leave, I got to give him a certain amount of money, and I okay with it and everything. We leave with a handshake. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? But I left disappointed, no doubt, because I didn't know he felt that way about me. But yet, in Jimmy's, that situation transpired where he thought he could take a punch at me while I'm stopping a fight, and I'm really on his side still. And I get up and I start rocking his world, because he didn't know he was really up against God's force. You know what I'm saying? So even on his betrayal there, when he swung at me first, he couldn't stop it, because once I jumped up, I destroyed all the devil's horns. I pulled the horns of his head. I did everything. I damaged the devil so much that the little demon behind me, that I wasn't, because, God loves things to be, noticed. Even, the underdog is going to rise up to the occasion when you got that force and the energy of God. To beat the shit out of him in front of his own people, one against all of them. Because at the time, that's what it was, and I didn't know. But after I got up, 2 seconds later, I beat the shit out of him with a 5-piece combination. Coleslaw, I told y'all, the mashed potatoes,
biscuit,
and the macaroni and cheese. And then when that was happening, that's when the little hidden demon behind that nobody seen, came and did that. And then the actual guys that are supposed to be breaking it up, which are the people that work there, pushed me outside like that was nothing. Protected him. So it was all set up. Now, if I'm lying, I'm dying, I'm flying, never crying. But if I tell you that's true about something that I went through, and I keep telling you this for 20 years, it's in my book. Now, my warrior spirit, what I do, and my love for hip hop, I try to continue my career. And this dude sneakily still, just like he snuck me that day from me stopping him fighting another guy that he knew. Me over here thinking, you know what? I'm not even going to, I'm going to make my career, whatever. I'm going to settle it with him personally, because I'm taking it like a one-on-one, right? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? Now him using all the executives from the West Coast, from the East Coast, assassinating my character, threatening all the people, like, not to give me a deal. So now it's not just the fact that he did me dirty on a personal level, broke up our friendship, betrayed me on some old letting somebody else touch your brother instead of you after I started beating you up, a beef that you started because you swung first. So I do all that by the book as a real G regardless. And that's not me. I'm just a warrior when you put me in a situation. I never promoted that, but I did get down many times in front of him. He knows my character. He knows what I've done, you know what I'm saying, in the street game. So if I do all of that by the book and I play as a real G, you let that nigga cheat. And then after that, he does this to my brother, to Pun's family. He did that to me, like he was doing that to me, but he do that to Pun's family. Do that to Pun's son, not let him follow his dream and take the heir to the throne like he's supposed to from his father. Yeah, I let him get away with that. Just that. My shit is personal. But I got a right after that to speak upon it and tell you my truth. And my whole intention is to really put on the new artists, make sure they don't have to go through. Because, I have to take the OG seat now. I got to inspire and I got to share my story with others to either, to warn them, to, when people tell me, yo, what's the message for the new, generation now? I got to say that for that.
But Q, can you really blame Math if that's not his personal experience with Joe, though?
But it should be a story that you got to give weight to, because I went through all that, and you got to give me my time of my blood, sweat, and tears in the game, my lyrical skills that impressed you when you was the upcomer, and you want to know the other side. Being a journalist or a person in that position where you do interviews with people, you can't just, that's what happened with Angie Martinez. Angie Martinez gave Joe that seat in the Hot 97 about our story and never gave me mine. Then he never showed, that's a business, right?
It's all politics.
So you got to show two sides to a story.
Right, but it's all politics.
And then, it shouldn't be politics when
it
real
shouldn't be,
happen.
But it is.
When it's real situations like mine, it should never be no politics involved. If not, you got problems with me, right? Because now he got like 2 up on me. Even though it came, that situation, I'm the winner. Even though y'all feel however y'all feel, as far as Jimmy's. The fact that he swung on me first and me trying to stop a situation, he snuck his brother, supposed to be brother, was artist, after he did that to the other guy when I'm trying to stop him. And I get up and I beat the shit out of him, and then you getting beat up and about to get knocked out, and then you had somebody from the back do that. I won that by myself. That's why I could walk around with a head. I could tell you the story. It's not like I was a victim to the point that I let myself be a victim, because he felt me. That devil that day felt me. He had to. And that fear got instilled with that left hook, the right hook that I hit him with. That's why he had to bring everybody against me. And that's the fear he has. And he took it far. He took it far in the same kind of like format with other people, is what I'm saying. He did this to other people. Just people didn't have the courage to tell the story. And I can't let the devil get away with that. I would never say the story again if you get up and go, Cuban been telling the truth all along, man. Yo, that nigga Cuban told the truth, man. Fuck that. Did that nigga dirty. So what? This the hood, nigga. This raw, nigga. I did that nigga dirty. For what? Yeah. But give me that respect. Like, that nigga, that nigga got a certain kind of power to him that he don't know how to back down when he's telling the truth.
But the way that Math looks at it, right? The way that, based off of what he said, he makes it seem like...
He acts like he doesn't know when he knows, man. He knows. Everybody knows that he really a hoe, but it's still telling lies to me. Everybody know that he really a hoe, and what he did was hoish acts, but they're still telling lies to me. Now he telling lies to the world about me. That's the problem I got. Like, yo, let me tell my story, man. I got a fan base. I got people that know that I'm telling the truth, that believe me. But they take in my voice and try to assassinate it so people don't make me look like the crazy guy that's telling the story over and over. Some psycho. Cuckoo.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, though. Do you think that he owes you to put you on the podcast if he didn't ask Joe about you?
I don't want to be in my spot. I don't want to be in Drink Champs. They show me who they are. I don't have to. And not because I don't like them. I don't think they're ready to, they're going to have a lot. When they really come to knowing the truth, like if they believe Joe, and they don't have that mentality to be like, there's more to that story. Let me interview either Liza or let me interview Cuban or somebody. Maybe more me, because I've been out there and I've been like MC. So, MC to MC, I think they would want to know my take on it.
But not everybody can be Doggy Diamonds. You got to give Doggy Diamonds his props that.
How many times do I got to give Doggy Diamonds his props, man? Doggy Diamond, definitely.
Because he don't care about the politics.
Definitely. From the beginning, against all odds, he definitely did. You know what I'm saying? But Doggy Diamond could only do what he could do.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? He can only do his journalistic work and get it. And Doggy Diamond knows in his heart and his soul what we saying is true, what Liza is saying, what Chris is saying, what I'm saying. He knows. And so many people are like Doggy Diamonds, but the system is set up for Joe to win. We got to ask questions. Why? And we got to make a change, because that's only really for the next generation coming up, man. Really for that. I don't want nobody to go through what I went through. Bottom line, at the end, I can't let that kind of crime can't get away with that. Can't get away with that. You know what I'm saying? It might be too personal for people, but how long it keeps happening? You've seen the disrespect of this gatekeeper. Y'all made him the gatekeeper after he did all of that. Y'all rewarded this dude. He was able to lie or grease those people. Don't you feel that's disgusting? I know people that feel that's disgusting. It takes for him to really show you who he is by making racial remarks and putting some racial tone in his voice when he's talking about, foundational Black Americans. I know his people are definitely waiting for that. I wasn't waiting for that, because at the end of the day, I know I'm speaking my truth. So that's not enough for y'all. It's cool. I could build my own. I know people. I know my talent, so I could take it. All I need is at least give me the pipeline or avenue so I could get my own thing popping. But it's not even that. It was they blocking that. They're so powerful, they could block that just because I'm involved. And they've been doing this, and that's just a bully shit. Y'all niggas protecting the bully. You know what I'm saying? That sucks. That's whack. And I beat the shit out that bully too. So it's the bully that got beat up, and now he's running like a pussy. I acting like I don't see the pussy running. But he's getting help from everybody that's somebody, and I don't know why they ain't backing him. I don't know why. I know why. That money talks, boy. That money talks for the devil like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
But people get tired of it. People get tired of when you give that somebody power. When they came in the face like, please accept me, please pick me. Then you pick him. Then, he starts looking at the game and people how they're playing. He gets good at it because he knows how to mimic and he knows how to play. But then he does a little build, he gets his pockets a little thicker than everybody. That he comes acting like he owns the game. Oh, I did this. People, they detest people like that. That's exactly who your boy, Joe Capagina is.
What did you think of when Math took down the clip by putting it on private so no one could watch it? And then recently he put it back up.
I don't want to predict what they do and things like that. They do it like that because they could do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I don't want to even know. You know what I'm saying? They probably say, yo, they got the clip out there anyway. Let me capitalize over it. That's what happened.
I think so too.
Everybody has that clip already. I think that would be the move. If they making money, I might as well make money.
Right, because he saw everyone was getting views, and I think that he just decided, might as well, because it's already out there anyways.
Might as well. I might as well join him.
Do you think Joe had asked him to take it down initially?
I think, yeah. I think probably it was a concern in Joe's business team, whoever was rocking with Joe, the council, Fat Joe's council, that got a meeting and said, yo, you got to take that down, man. And then he probably voiced it to Yo, Math, pick that down, man. You look crazy on that. You know what I'm saying? They're going against me. Well, he said it there. I always go viral, so I try not to go viral so much. Congratulations, stupid. You went viral for the right thing this time. First time you go viral for the right stuff. So that's it.
I think it was crazy because, in the comments, some people were like, I was like, man, I'm kind of surprised that Math took it down, because, I thought he would stand on it. And then people were like, oh, he put it back up. It's on there.
Oh, probably Joe's blaming him now for ruining his career. Probably joining, even though he said what he said, he probably didn't mean it, whatever, but it doesn't matter. The world looked at it as what it was. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, when you really look at them through their eyes, it's like, yo, that's disrespect.
Yeah, but people in the comments were like, well, he is standing on it if it's back up. And I'm like, that's not really standing on it because you took it down for a period of time. You obviously were shook by the situation or something, to make you have to take it down.
So, the devil don't want to take the profits or make profit of what God put out. That was God making them do their mistakes. Then he don't want to capitalize. He took it down. That's how you know how the priorities is backwards. That one is the one he's supposed to be like this. Let's go. We got some juicy shit. We're gonna make some real money here. He said the truth for once.
That clip should have way more views than it does.
He got scared. He put his brother in a bad position, and it happened in this stage, so he's probably gonna get the blame for it. But then the Brooklyn snapped into him. Okay, they're doing it. I'm gonna do it. Might as well profit from it too. That's what he did. And that's what happens when you get snakes together. They do shit like that. It is what it is.
Do you think Joe should apologize?
All right. If Joe first got to apologize to Liza, that's the only way I accept is apology. First, apologize to Liza, Punch family, his wife, Liza, to Chris Rivers. Then, and this got to be live, like on Math show. Like close up, you got to do. I want to see the camera works. I want to see the fucking, the background when saying slow motion while he's there. You know what I'm saying? I want to see real tears with the apology. I want to hear sorry in the apology. How sorry he is. I wanted him to repeat what he's done that's wrong. To Liza first. Then I want him to ask little Chris Rivers, little Chris, for his forgiveness of all the money he stole from his family and all the pain he caused that family after his father made him who he is and put him in positions to have that type of power because of his father's beautiful and beyond the world skills that he possessed. And he was so good of a friend that he shared it with him. And I want him to really say that to Chris's face. Then I want him to come this way, get on his knees to me and say, Q, you are the better man. I try to be you. I took all your material and made you feel like you was whack so I could be able to rob you and keep your morale down so you won't have this beautiful gift that God gave you to keep on going like a warrior like you have against all odds. No money in your pocket, and still be able to disrupt my life with the truth that you possess and your voice has been speaking for over years. And the fact that you're such a loyal, most realest brother that Pun ever had, to stay in that square and be who you are still. And I'll extend my hand and I'll help him get up and I'll give him a hug. You're forgiven. I don't want no money from you, but you're forgiven. Knowingly that I know he robbed me and he robbed my brother. I don't want no money from you. You're forgiven. That's how real I will keep it. But this got to be done in front of the world, for real, no acting. You think he'll be able to do that? Never.
That would never happen.
So that's the forgiveness. That's the forgiveness I expect. You understand? Of a real motherfucker that went through what he did and what we've been through. To apologize that way, he will become a real man in my eyes. The only way.
Well, I was asking you, do you think that he should apologize to the FBA?
Once he do all of that, I think he's fit. He's fit to say, I'm sorry, FBA. My bad. I got too over my bridges. I thought I got too money. Just started, coming everywhere. I thought I was the king of the world. And I forgot, so I thought I ruled the world for a minute. And I thought that, I wanted to just add my people in there and say we created hip hop because, we're powerful now because I got lost. But I remember when, y'all motherfuckers just, inspired me to rap and be black, and take pride in it and want to be a part of black culture because y'all motherfuckers so dope in what y'all got. Yeah. After he do that all at first, then I think they should accept that apology after that. But they got to do what I said first, though. FBA got to have my back and go, do that first. Yeah.
I doubt that any of those apologies would ever happen.
Well, shows you the difference between me and them, or me and him. actually. So I'm sure probably some people in FBA will be like, yo, you gotta, that's the way to do it. I know they will be like that, but actually doing it and have them do it, I want him to be forced.
Right.
That should be a natural thing because it has to be naturally. It has to be from the heart. So that's how forgiveness is done, though. That's because you know you was wrong by it. Stop trying to save your face. Stop trying to, because you let him get away, he's going to get even worse. You let this happen, they will get worse. The liar always gets worse. Piece of shit always gets bigger, and he's going to stink up the house even worse because the shit stop being picked up and scooped and thrown out. It's being kept there like furniture. Next thing you know, you're gonna have your coffee mug on it, top of it. Be like, oh shit. That's what Eddie Murphy said. That's not a chair, that's a piece of shit. He just shit grew up so big it looked like a coffee table now. That's what Joe is. A fucking giant sofa set that nobody threw out yet. That shit got plastic on it like grandma used to have. He's still there, but he put some, fur on it. Okay, let me stop. I'll start going crazy with the snaps.
Did you see the clip of Nori that was on Joe Budden's podcast that recently started going viral again, where he was saying that he talked to Joe a long time ago, and Joe was like,
"You don't even like his own people." That one, Tori, and that's why I got a little love for Maury, a little love that's left because he's off the cuff with some. He'll tell the truth like that, but he'll know it. Hey, that's wrong, right? That's crazy. Because Nori was really one of the dudes that got involved with the reggaeton movement, and he feels proud that he was part of it. That he brought, reggaeton to America like that and got it to blow. So Joe always discredited him because of that. Joe could have been did that. Joe never did that. That's how he's racist against his own people. He always thought reggaeton was a piece of shit, some hate shit that nobody gonna like ever. That's the own thing. That's, this is how Joe works.
Wait, you've heard Joe say that though?
Of course he did. He didn't want me and Pun to ever do Spanish songs. I was doing Spanish songs with Spanish dudes, back in the days. For love of the culture. Oro Solido, I did songs with them. With I forgot the Dominican group that was there. But Oro Solido, no, Raul, this is my dude. We used to have him in Jimmy's all the time. The other guy with Pickle. Anyway, a lot of Spanish groups, man, back in the days that I did, I was rapping already in Spanish. I was the dude that was promoting that on a low when I was Cuban Link, but I ventured into it. I always used the words in Spanish. I put the word there because I wanted my culture to feel proud of me also and invite them into, this black, beautiful culture we got named hip hop and accept it, like it. Whether you like my image or why, I bring you in. And then, it's a plus. But Joe was like, no, don't do that. He was with the division, separation. Don't do that.
Well, what about...
For the money, he would do it. For the money, he would do it, though. If you pay, he was raping certain niggas in the Spanish field. Like, with the money. And then he would block them from even putting that shit out until reggaeton started getting big. We got artists like Don Omar, like Tempo, like,
Daddy
even
Yankee.
when Vico C was out. When Vico C was out, Joe didn't give a fuck about no damn, Latin rap. He looked at it as down. And he was spreading that word around. He had Pun saying, that's that. Pun to a point said that. But Pun was, he was so proud of being Boricua in that sense inside his heart. And he know that his style can make whatever, his whole heritage dope. If he included, like me, like I used to push that shit because I'm Cuban. That's why he used to call me Ricky Ricardo and all that shit. And Ricky Martin and shit like that. Like making fun of me. Joe took that, mocking me because I embraced my culture. And, try to, just put my talent to work on that side. Because I could do that. I always could do that. I'll do a whole Spanish album. I'm going to need a little bit of help with getting the Spanish, like, polished off where I was supposed to. But even in that side, he blocked the deal for me. He blocked me in that side, too. I already told that story. So, that's how powerful he got and how powerful the industry gave him that power to do that.
Well, wait, but let me ask you this, though, right? What about Fat Joe's Way? That skit that he did in Spanish and everything. If he was so against,
he's a low class. He's a bad representation of Puerto Rican people, man. At the end of the day, you've seen that happen. I just talked after he's 56 years old ass dude get on there and still talk like he just straight out the corner. Like, so you may think that's a dope thing. You might think that's a dope thing to still hate on the next man because he getting more money than you, be jealous and all that. Trying to set people up. That he hasn't grown. He hasn't grown. He's showing you through all the things he's supposed to have been through. That he shows us the sentimental part of Fat Joe and all of that he does. And look how he's true. Look at TA. That's the last guy he had. That I seen Hassan Campbell. Shout out to Hassan. He just interviewed him. And he just, TA almost crying how much, how bad that Joe did him. And I felt sorry for him. Like, yo, when I heard the interview, I'm like, yo, it's crazy. He still got a little love for the dude, man. And I went through him like that kind of a roller coaster ride when it became like, nah, man, give him the definite doubt. He comes back and he do the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I can still forgive him regardless. We have a one-on-one in the back, but we can still be maybe, but that went out the window. This nigga's your enemy. He's your enemy. And he'll do the lowest thing in the book to do you dirty. And he's going to learn that still because he still got a little piece of it. Yo, bro, the show way how he talked like with that type of emotion. And, I just take it like, he knows most of the ladies, most ladies things that Joe did to him. He did them extra dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had to go through that. We paid our dues and even more than TA could ever imagine. And we was the helper builders of Terror Squad. My brother, number one, that built that brand. That, you know what I'm saying? That put Joe in that position, able to have, his type of a career he has. So, but he did TA dirty. He took a young man that was, very talented in different things, especially in basketball. And, he gassed him up to join his team because he's going to, put him up and showcase his talent to the world so he could change his family's, roots and class forever. So he could be, at least make some money that, doing something he loved because he's talented enough and the people got love him. And the minute he got his own fan base and they started liking him too much, he got the jealous bug again. Just like he had with me. Then he started jerking you. And he's jerking you all the way because he's paying you pennies. He's paying you pennies of what he's getting. Like I told you, he tried to pay me $200 one time when we did the Terror Squad show. We got $35,000 at the time. Nigga tried to throw me $200 when I'm already getting $8,000, $8,000 to $10,000 for a show. And I'm giving them 20% from the shows I'm doing and the features. Bun was giving them 50%, but I'm giving them 20. So I do a show with our own crew, and they paying us $35,000, and you give me $200. He gave me that money. I threw that shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Just like that. I was in front of the car. He was behind me. He tried to get me. He went like that, and he opened the door. he tried to goof real quick. He tried to be out real quick. I said, what's this? And by the time I went like that, he was already opening the door with his ass out. I said, get the fuck out of here. This nigga gave me $200? And he gave it to me like in tens. $200 like this is 10. So I'm thinking it's like hundreds of dollars. This nigga give me the bullshit, the fantasy knot. And when I threw it back like this, Raul was picking up the money in the back. Like a fucking savage, starving for it. Raul. Wow. I said, keep that shit, dog. Keep that shit. After that, I never did a show again. So I know what TA went through. I know what it is for him. He uses you to go get a girl. The pretty girl, because they like you, because, you're the pretty boy or whatever. You're the handsome guy. And when you bring her back, he gets everybody in the crew. Yo, we're going to chase that. We're going to chase that. So now the pressure's on you. The girl might not be like that at all. She doesn't want to get you. She likes you. You walking with her, and everybody like this. Like fucking criminals, like little fucking hyenas next to the fucking girl. Be like, oh, what's up with that? What's up with all that? Touching her, disrespecting her, and violating a person. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he said something about, how disrespectful Tony is, he went with Cuban Link, he betrayed it. It's like almost like he wants to be back in that. He wants to make Joe realize that how wrong it was to take Tony back in and put him out. You know what I'm saying? When Tony was disloyal by joining Cuban Link, and I'm like, he put me in that reference. I'm like, oh, this nigga still ain't getting it yet. He's still, boy, he still got that Joey hooked. That bait that Joe threw him, boy, is hard. He's not off the hook yet. Like, he's still there like that. Fighting to get the fuck off the hook. Like, he's still thinking of the wrong thing of the overall picture. And I feel sorry for that. He feels like, I think Joe showed enough of who he is. And that's the long lasting effect some people might have. Charlie Rock had the same, like, yo, I'll forgive him if he come back. And like I said, the only way I'll accept his apology is the only way I told you to. That he should do. But they'll probably accept him back if they'll be like, come on, my dude, and give him a noogie in the head and be like, come on, man, I was wrong, come on. They'll probably run running back to Joe and then be like, fuck him, that's what he do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, they don't get it yet. So I'm on a whole different mission, always been, you know what I'm saying? I'm a man's man, for real, man. I kept my morals against all odds. Nothing could buy that. I feel proud of that. I can stand up and say that. My last words in my death, I could say that. I could put my head up proud, regardless, and be like, fuck you. Yeah, I'm God's child. I represented the right fucking team. I stood for a brother, for a friend. I know I did everything out of my heart, out of love for my brothers. Never try to lead my brothers into evil or in a bad situation to get them. Ever put them in a situation where I'm a benefit of any hurting or bad things that happen to them. I could say that. And I was always very grateful for every opportunity that I got, for God giving me the talent, for God giving me the strength to go through this mission, and God giving me the directions to keep moving against all odds. You know, because I fuck up too, but I know my main characteristics are on point, and they know they're righteous. Even if I go crazy, where I put the hurt of somebody that needs to be put, you know, even if it's that. Sometimes you have to, you know, do certain things, but it's a lot of times that the devil's going to set you up for that. So just Joe being a one great demon, because he didn't just fool me. Look, he fooled everybody. Now everybody feeling fooled. I'm the one yelling, telling you, no, he's not that nigga you think he is. He's this, you know what I'm saying? I might look like I was hating, but look at me, look at what I'm saying. If you feel a certain way about this nigga, his character, how he misled y'all, and he lied to y'all about all the shit all these lies he told. Now that y'all know our lies, now that y'all know all this, and I'm 50 years old. Started rapping in that game when I was, 19, 20. I love hip hop, this game so much that I know this is what God intended me to do. So I'm good at it. You know what I'm saying? And as long as I got a feeling about a song, you know what I'm saying, that I feel could send a message out there to help humanity, I would. I'm a type of writer like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? My songs got messages to them, and whether it's fun, whether it's, you know what I'm saying, jewels, now old school hip hop, we throw jewels in them papers. You know what I'm saying? And
let me ask you this, Q. Do you feel liberated in any way now that you see the world is starting to see
no,
Joe
I've been feeling I
more for
was
who
free
he
all
is?
this time. God made me free all this time. As I was so, it came out so natural for me to say the truth against where everybody wouldn't think is the truth. They might have judged me in front of the whole world. I said the truth when I was by myself, and I stood by my truth, even when those around me gave up on me, when they betrayed me, when they chose to run away. I stood with the same thing.
I know, but
The
you got
same
to
thing.
feel like some type of way.
But I was always free. I was always free. Like I left Cuba. Once I left Cuba, I was free. I was in a place where freedom did not come because you're naturally from a government. So we fled Cuba for freedom. Once I hit touchdown in Miami, I mean, in Key West, when I was a shorty, I felt free, and I knew that at the end of the day, why we left Cuba. We had a dictator like Fidel Castro that was communist that you couldn't speak upon. You get hurt. Your family would be, whatever. You can't have your own mind. So I know what freedom means. From a little kid, I was explained that. My father, my mother, they taught me that, and they brought me here for that reason. So I never ever let another person, another dictator, whoever thought that they was another human being take that right away from me. Never. I felt like the hip hop industry was under lockdown. It was locked up, and I was the only one free trying to freedom. That's how I
But what
felt.
I'm saying though is that, like, I feel like the industry has been known that Joe wasn't a good person, but they wouldn't say anything, right? But now the regular person is starting to see who he really is. So for you to be screaming what you have been screaming for 20 years, right? Over 20 years, doesn't it feel somewhat good that people are really starting to see, Joe for who he really is? And they're like, maybe Cuban Link wasn't crazy after all.
I mean, there's a part of me that feels that way, but it's also a part of me that feels like, even when I say certain things and I expose the truth, so change can happen. When people expose that, I ain't get no gain from that. Nobody paid me this. I didn't have a plan that, if I take him down, I could be the next one. I never had that plan with me. You know what I'm saying? I did this for just But God, first of all, I know it was a godly mission for me, for my brother that I seen being done bad after he shared his love and his talent with somebody he thought he could trust like that. For his kids, they had to go through a situation that somebody could have avoided. Start back and even worse than when his father started off. See him get robbed like that. See me put my trust in my career and my devotion to something to help somebody, and also get betrayed from the back, never from the front. For all the punk qualities that I've seen in that guy that he showed me, he probably showed the other people, when he told another story that he saw, or how tough he is, or how scared you should be of him because this could happen to you, whatever. I always saw that pussy punk motherfucker that's ungrateful, that's a thief, a drug dealer that'll sell poison to his people and masquerade himself in the public's eye to be loved and liked. And can never find the answer to the equation of what's a good man, what's good and what's right. He just know how to do that thing because that's the thing that he loves doing. And his evil things to people. That's it. That's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's a part of me that wishes that he listened. Because there was always room for forgiveness if you come to the realization of your wrongdoings. But some people, like I said, like Pharaoh, at the end of the day, yo, listen, you don't get the locust, man. The water's going to turn blood. He's seen all the signs, like Pharaoh. That was the last one of the firstborn son. Look, all his brothers died. First terror squad members, they all dead. What are you going to do, Pharaoh? Or you still going to be with your pride and ego, and you think you was right all along, and you're going to go right into that middle of that water where the ocean split up, huh? You should have just let the people go. It's that deep for me, spiritually. So that story's been told already, and I already knew I was, upholding God's plan to do this.
So you knew this day was going to come when people were going to really see him for who he is?
Of course. A liar always get exposed, especially a lie of that magnitude, a crime of that magnitude that's been, hidden all these years. And the stories only give more, it's going to gain more worth. Our story. I know that, but I ain't do that for that. Because actually the hate is what made the love cost more and be more famous than ever. Even though it went through all of this struggle and this journey to be heard. But it's going to be heard. It's just when. That's all. It's deep. It's deep. You know what I'm saying? I only feel this, and I'm saying it like this because it flows easily when I'm thinking about it and how I really feel about it. But me doing this for any monetary gain, I hate the guy so much. I hate what he did. I hate that people like that exist in the world that could live and look in the mirror after they do certain things like that and get rewarded. That's what I hated. I don't hate him. Crazy. Me and him share so much things together. He's half Cuban, born around the same area. You know what I'm saying? Had it rough. You know what I'm saying? I feel his, for his kid that was born mentally challenged. I was there for his his 7th birthday. Me and Paul went to his birthday party at McDonald's by the Brooklyn. I know his family. I know his mother. You know what I'm saying? His mother has a problem. She had caught throat cancer. So she speaks with a voice box. And since back in the days, they went through the hard stuff. I know his stepfather, or his father to me was his father, Cuban. His last name is Delgado, like me. He put me on point about him back in the days, like coming up in the game because he's Cuban. So we shared a bond in it back then. His people in the street crew, which I love, that they had love for me, and we did crazy shit that they already know that I'm validated from the ghetto all the way up. And I was a loyal dude. And we did a lot of things, and the real side of things in that drug game where he was involved. And we came through the roots on that. So the respect that I got, and for me getting on there and say, fuck Terror Squad, you know how much that shit hurt me when I got to think of like GQ, like things like Little Heck, like people that are, we was rolling together and we was real niggas with each other. You know what I'm saying? And just love And it was created that way. The foundation and the story of Terror Squad, I love when it was real. But this dude made a whole different story. He changed the history of that too. And he doesn't even look out. But guys like GQ, like, you know what I'm saying, real, like Power, like Gizmo, rest in peace. Guys that validated them in the hood. And I don't see him doing the right thing by them. And me knowing that. And not even being like original from that crew. I seen how he did them and I speak for them. And until this day I see them, I always show love. They show me love, but they too like this. They stuck in the middle and he put them in that situation. And yeah, he doesn't do no real G shit and change their lives like we try to do. I was a speaker of that. But anyway, man, I ain't gonna go through like that's in the book. It's gonna be in the book anyway when I write it. But that's the real story there. And I'm proud. I'm proud of us being Latinos from the same block, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican. You know what I'm saying? Caribbeans. That was in a black culture that they accepted us being from that block that the DITC, you know, crew came out of. Being linked to that, it's an honor, a pleasure. It was something that we had to uphold lyrically and with our talent. And it was backing us. We was backing them. That union was so dope. But, you know, the greed and jealousy of others, not even others, of just that fat, funky, beluga, pale whale, just him. And I say that with angry because he tricked me. He caught me when I was loving his ass once, you know, as a brother at one point. No, I loved him as a brother at one point. I can't front. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, it's personal like that with me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but I ain't that stupid motherfucker that, you know, is going to be there after he showed me who he is, thinking he's going to change. Oh, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to change just because, you know. No. You know, he showed you who he was and he showed everybody. He shouldn't have gotten about my business like that. He shouldn't stop my business. I will use you forever until you pay that back. I never sued you. Never. Never took you to court and anything for anything that ever. I took it like a G with my chest up, and I could use your name whenever I want to, baby. Remember that. That's the only thing I ever did. So I'm using my story, but you're involved in that character. You're a character in my story. So how can you choose to use that when I want to? Remember that. That's a given.
So in our last interview, we spoke about Joe's history of making racist comments, right? We spoke.
Oh, you gonna go back to
wait. No,
that was the finishing touch. I thought.
No,
you want to go steal? You want to still pull out more?
There's more. Wait, hold on. Okay.
Christ.
So we spoke about the Smooth interview where he felt like Joe was being racist and saying the blacks have been doing it for long enough. Now it's our turn. You said you didn't feel like Joe was being racist in those talks, but you heard other times him and Macho said racist things.
No, you know what? Because when he repeated it, I didn't remember. You didn't play me the clip back like live with me when he was talking. I remembered it, and I thought he said Moreno.
Right. That's my point. That's my point. He really said Moyo.
No, he said Moyo.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That was my point.
Oh, yeah. But I heard it back, and I said, oh, no, that was racist.
That's what I was saying is that, like,
Moyo,
I missed that.
That was racist.
I thought he said Morenos, too. But I missed that.
Yeah, I thought he said Morenos.
Yeah.
Moreno, no. Moreno's not racist. But if he said Moyos, like I said, Cocolos and all that, Trepapalo, or, you know what I'm saying, Mayates and all that, that's all racial slurs in Spanish, you know, about black people. So, yeah, that was very racist. You're supposed to feel a certain way. And I would have definitely agreed with it. I thought you said Morenos, so you messed my head up with that. But, yeah, no, that was definitely so. He found it right there. That was an example of how racist Joe is.
Right, because people in the comments were all saying like, "Oh, Cuban was defending Joe now because you know Latinos they stay on code even if they got problems with each other." And
no, what I'm defending is the temperament of what's going on, and I see the disrespect happening. I see the misleading. I see the devil at work, and I want to put y'all on yo, just because this dude feel like that. Which some people might feel like that because I don't even know the history all the way back. You know, I know to a certain point also, but it's just like, yo, the way and the tone, certain people that don't even deserve a credit about hip hop. Even if you're black, you're just jumping in now. Something that might not be a culture that you represent. You might be representing, you know, something else. You might listen to R&B music or pop music. But they add on to it with the disrespect, especially the age difference too. some people here that was really there at that time. That they got a different story to tell. I just want to hear the story. And I know that Latinos added a positive, component to hip hop. I know that for a fact. I feel it. And it's the credit and finding out the proof so we could go back and have a debate like Robert Jamal was saying. And maybe we could do a dialogue that way. But I'm not defending that fat, funky fuck.
But what I think people misunderstood, right, was like you saying the truth is just like you could have capitalized off of that situation and said, oh, Joe is racist just right off the bat and be like, yeah, those speeches, they were racist. But the fact that you were just saying based off of what I remember, those felt like more like he was just trying to amp us up, right? So then,
right. But if he said Moyo, then definitely if you're black and you're in that.
But you don't remember him saying Moyo.
Like I said, I was immune, so maybe he did say it, but my main focus in that shit is us as a team, as us proving ourselves to the black community with our talent and be like, well, we got to do this shit for real. Like, you're in a baseball team, you got to win. I don't give a fuck who you are. Fuck these niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like that, like a kind of that support like that. Sometimes that happened to motivate us. Sometimes. But now if I'm in there, and now the word, that word right there, and you black, I get it. I might have been blind at the time, but I got more motivated probably on us as a team trying to be the best we could be to show the world that we could fuck with the highest. The black folks are the ones who set the bar. Pun was right there with the ball. Now Pun is not here. We got to take the ball to, that's motivational speeches. That's what I'm a type of team player. That's a stand I took for it. But 100%, if he said that word, and it would have been like, he would have told me down on the side and said, yo, that nigga racist. He said, oh, like, Warren said that? Oh, he'd be like, he's disgusting shit, my nigga, but what can we do? At that time, I would have said that.
Right.
But you know what I'm saying? But that's not, my motivation was really like, I'm part of the team to try to make, Latinos in that Latin crew. We was the best lyricist Latin crew, I think one of us to say ever when it comes to lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
And put, and getting with the black culture and them respecting us. As far as getting on the mic and respected. Before that, ain't no MC that was Spanish got respected on the mic like Pun got. You know what I'm saying? So I know what kind of bar we have to set after Pun. So, I'm putting that situation in those terms, and I want y'all to really put your feet in my shoes and understand, how a real motherfucker would get down in that situation. And if those words were encouragement, I took it as encouragement at times, you know what I'm saying? Until I found out the trickery. I was listening to the trick master. I had to go through it to really understand later. That was the motivation for all the things he was doing.
But what I'm saying, though, is that you could have capitalized off of that and just said, yeah, he racist or whatever, right?
I know, my nigga, but I'm not built like that.
Right, exactly. No, but that's my point, is that because you didn't do that, and it's not that you're just defending him because he's Latino, that gives more credit to when you do say something that you're speaking the truth. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, thank you for explaining how real niggas supposed to be moving.
Right.
I do it naturally.
Because
but if you
can do
that, I was 100% who I am. So I'm not doing this because I'm smart enough to, let me do this because this is who I am. These are real things that happen. And I'm explaining to you the most honest way I could how I played my position during those situations. And you know what I'm saying? I felt it was 100% real, and I'm standing on business, on my business, or who my character is. So,
because people were trying to say in the comments, oh, if Cuban was around Joe and he was saying racist stuff and he didn't say anything, then he racist too because he condoned it and he allowed it.
It's not in the ball. Listen, man, I ain't going to front me and Pun. We hung around with nothing but black folk, and black folk used to fucking snap on us, and we used to snap on their ass back with real racial shit. And they came with real racial shit, but we made them laugh. And they made us laugh. And we was laughing, but it was we snapped. We do it in fun. We do it with each other. And they could have been 100 deep, but it don't matter. They know Cuban's going to snap back. And they do it on purpose to see my skills on snapping. They did it to Pun. Nobody could beat Pun in snapping. And we did funny shit that's known to be funny amongst our peers, amongst, our brothers that already know, because they the ones who gave us the word nigga, and they validated us for that. We did it because they told us, y'all good. But that's just New York. And we kept a lot of thuggish ways with us when we came in the industry, and we, sprung into the world. And we have to defend certain topics that I knew at the end of the day, smart enough to know you can't defend that word like that. That word right there, we come from New York as a melting pot. That don't mean the same thing that these other people feel, but we are out there on the mic, front street, putting that word out there like that. And we have to be a little more responsible. It takes time because we got that New York blood and we come from that unity that we have in New York. I don't think it was ever done anywhere else, like the way we had it. And I don't want the world to blemish that, because the message in that is more important than I think y'all could even give it credit for. That unity right there is something that, even though it started off with that negative stuff, nothing good come from that when you go against the world. And the explanation, I cannot defend that to the rest of the world. Nah, I can't. So the best thing to do is respect it and slow down from the news and that word and try to really, you know what I'm saying, respect people's, you know what I'm saying,
perspective.
Their action is to stop. That's it. And they got the right to. That's it.
But do you feel like you condoned Joe saying racist things in your presence if you didn't check him? Like the racist stories him and Macho would say?
Joe was never, but you know, I said certain things when they do it to my friends. I tell them on the low. I didn't try to make it, you know, because remember, I got to play my position. I'm not the leader of the shit. It's really more people from his crew than mine. So out of respect, he's leading his crew. You know what I'm saying? We are kind of invited into his situation, and he's working to get us on, and we adapting to his way of being. And yeah, he said a lot of racist. When he did it to my people, certain times, I definitely went, yo, my nigga, you gotta slow down with that shit, man. You can't be saying things. I told him, nigga, that. He'd be like, shut up. Like things like that. It'd be like that. But I was that nigga. I was that dude. See, my bad for even saying the word again. But I was that dude in there that maybe that stood in his mind. Yo, he always going against me. So he felt like I was a thorn in his back. Even when I try to, you know what I'm saying, put my input in on him, you know what I'm saying, being aware of others' feelings, you know what I'm saying, and making me look a certain way, like, you know what I'm saying? Because he has a way of doing that. You know, that's just who he is, though.
Because other people were saying in the comments that when you made the comment of when people are amongst their own, they all talk about other
100%.
races, or they all
100%.
do. People were like, that's not true. We don't do that.
I've been in there where, you know, white people, bunch of white people, and I love my white people too. Don't get me twisted. You know, I'm racist with, whitey. I'm not like that either. But I know the white system and the way it's been ran for hundreds of years. And it's a white system because you see nothing but white people up there, you know, capitalizing with the money part. And there's no color, no man of color until later on in life. And it's been going like that forever. I'm well aware of that. But I'm also very open and inviting to all races. You know what I'm saying? And heritages. So I've been around with just white people and they cool as hell. And they, you know what I'm saying? I know how to talk that too. I know how to be, but you know, I would start making jokes and I know when they slip up, be like, that's that over there. And I caught white people saying shit like that. I'd be like, hey, slow down with the ER, you know, white. You know what I'm saying? I do shit like that. You know, I do things like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm sociable like that, but I tried to definitely, in a serious way, check them and make them laugh. Like, I'm gonna let you slide, but you funky fuck, don't go act like them. You know what I'm saying? And I do the same thing with, you know, black people when they get around. Fucking speak. But like I said, our relation with black people that I know, they got the freedom to snap like that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it'd be like, yo, y'all Spanish motherfuckers. They took like, be like, hurry up, stop, you little African booty scratcher. And I'll be the only nigga saying it to them in front of them because but they could tell that I don't like that. I say that so it would be a competition of snapping, my nigga. I don't want to go deeper than that. Stop, because, you know, that's the meaning. You know, I don't want to do that, but I can do that. You know what I'm saying? And I do that with that. Spanish people, Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, all separate. The way they talk, I'm the same nigga. Like, stop the shit. You know, Dominicans, when they be around, say, oh, entre papá eso. Say, I'm sorry, slow down with that word. You curly hair, you know, no sock, blame basketball and a palm tree, motherfucker. Slow down. You know what I'm saying? I'll say shit like that. So it's that's who I am.
What do you think about a lot of people were saying in the comments, like, if Spanish can say the N-word.
And I don't want to just say about Dominicans. See, right. Puerto Ricans do the same thing. Puerto Ricans, like with Joe and all of that, stop shit. You're not even, you know, and Joe used to say that. I remember when I used to say, yo, but you're not like Boricua either. You don't got the picture of Boricua. You're like a little white hunky, little egghead, little Humpty Dumpty. Like, I used to say shit like that, and everybody laughing. embarrassed Joe, but I'm saying that I'm like, just checking him out of love.
That's why he don't like you.
Even my Cuban people, that I got to check and be like, yo, oye, chiquitico, tú eres cubano, tú eres africano, tú eres un negrito también, deja de estar comiendo mierda que tú tienes ojos azules y tú te piensas que tú eres americano. Que tú eres un cubano cingado, amarelito, igual que yo. Ask me. So I checked everybody when it comes to that, and it's my footprints is everywhere.
What I saw in the comments was a lot of FBA were saying, if Spanish can say the N-word, what word can FBA say about Spanish people use? You know what I mean? Like, we get to call them spicks, or like, what do we get to call them?
Don't call us spicks. Come on, man. You look at rap. You look at battle rap. You know how many MCs that I heard get on with like Cortez, one of the first Spanish like battle rappers, which is Math's friend, and they call him these. And all it is, like, you know what I'm saying? Miss Hustle did that shit to I think, Misfit. Like, real racial shit, like, straight up, but it's battle rap, right? But it's a reflection always how some black people feel about it. Because I feel, so, like, it hurt me when she said it like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but it's battle rap. But it's definitely a reflection of what goes down in the hood. You know what I'm saying? But Misfit didn't go back and did a crazy shit, with the ER, the NIGGA word with the ER at the end, and she didn't do that. But she snapped, you know what I'm saying, on some, it was more intricate with it. It wasn't as disrespectful. Like, when black people go in, they go in. They go in. And I don't want to start that. You know what I'm saying? But definitely, you got to respect their wishes on that word, man. You can never defend that word to the world. You cannot. And I'm from New York, raised, used the word, could back it up to a point when we're in New York and people understand, but to the rest of the world now, that word got too much pain and suffering behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the clip of Remy Ma instituting the new rule for her league that other rappers can't rap about her, or she's gonna send some shots back and everything? She was doing like a face-off with Easy.
She's been running too much with the Joe Power, with just the assumption of him, of the gang, terror squad, always scared of the terror squad. So she takes that extra, talk her shit with extra off. She already did her own thing when she did 6 years. So her rap and all that. So, I see it sad when you get caught up in doing it like that. Especially the situation she's been going through. Her son being locked up, her the cases and all of that. Her being loose little cannon with you know what I'm saying, broke up the heart of the black love with Papoose over some ghetto shit like that. Being just a fake person.
But remember, we were talking about how like she goes back and forth with the whole shooting thing. I didn't do it. Then she'll rap about it that I did it.
I guess she's playing off of it for just the shock value.
Right. But then in that clip of the face-off, she's all like, I actually have a better track record of shooting first. She said that. So then she was doing that whole thing again.
Because, she's going about what? Popular out there. Being a thug, gangster, shooting people. That's the culture right now that hip-hop's turned to. Little shorties catching bodies just for nothing. That's what you see in the YouTube, in the news clips. And how many rappers that I didn't even know, 18, 17, died, they got shot up, they're using the rap in that negative vibe. And it's like everybody just because they made a rap song one time, they're rappers now. So it's giving the whole hip-hop name a black eye. And there's no gatekeepers really, balancing this out. There's no journalism really doing that against it to put a positive image out there. It's nothing but negative things going on, man. And rap has always been a reflection of a narration of what's happening in the hood. So.
Right. What do you think about people giving you backlash about Remy Ma, saying, how many years has it been since Cubans even been around her? What gives them the right to even talk about Remy and Papoose?
I know the beginnings of them. I know the creation. I know the foundation. I seen them coming. I seen how humble he was. I had a relationship with Remy. I seen her when she needed my help. I was there for her. And I seen her when I needed help. She wasn't there for me. I seen her stand on certain things that was real, that pertained to her career, as far as her feud with Joe and how disgusting Joe was, with the contracts and putting a gag on her and limiting her for her career. And me being the ear that listened to her and give her advice and give her a way out as far as like another choice without me gaining anything out of love, me going to her court trials, her talking to me about things, me going to studio with her, her pun loving her, upon embracing her from the beginning, changed her life because he loved her so much. That transcended to me. So I always had love for Romeo just on that. And me being there just to be, when she needed somebody the most, I was there to try to help. And then me, when she comes out of jail, change up everything and sell for money. Never say hi to me ever again, never acknowledging me, never never come see me, never send a kite, go against me or the next man when she knows better. Let them put fake things on me and run with a narrative that's fake to assassinate my character, and she doesn't at least say anything on my behalf. Yeah, she's fake to me. She showed me who she was. That's all. She showed me, and then she showed the world by her actions, like how she acted with Papoose, how appreciative she was, and how she did him. You know what I'm saying? Her son's still in jail and getting bailed out. I'm not even saying nothing because I don't know, but the situation she's going through, life put her in situations where she has to show the world. So I remember that girl that was humble that came and pardon up. You know what I'm saying? I'm always, that's the bad thing about me. I remember them when we started.
The innocence.
I was there for it.
Like the more innocent times, basically.
The innocence and the priorities they had.
Right.
And the talent they had. And the visions I saw of them, if they was put to their full potential, how incredible they would be. Even the artists, even the Tony Sunshines and the Armageddons and the Keith Nuts, I go back to that. If Joe would have really, really had love for his crew, you see how big this empire he created for himself is. He would have been a bigger empire, and it would have been a bigger message for the whole hip hop community of love, of talent, of setting up the bar, of putting Latinos when it comes to that music and that mic, put them on another level and respect it, and just loved with real emotion instead of bought emotion.
You know, somebody in the comments was all like, yo, you should never speak about a woman that drove you to the hospital when you got your face cut. And then I said to them, I said, you mean the same person that he helped get a $500,000 record deal that she didn't take? The same person that went to court with her every single day? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, no. I think I was gracious enough to thank Remy and said the story the right way and gave her props. And that's why I thought that I owed, which me as a man in realness, you know, I owed that to Remy. That's why I did that. So me doing that, I didn't have to do all of that, but I did it and I went beyond my way and I extended my hand when she went through the same situation I went through with the fat fuck, which was he wasn't paying attention to her project and pushing it just like mine. So I understood her story and I had a cushion for her to at least have there if she needed me. And she asked me for things and I provided that.
But that's you all. Paid her back, basically, like you did for her.
Well, you know, I don't want to relate money or material things that I gave or put in positions, you know, out of love so she could better her career to her driving me to a thing. I mean, it wasn't to the need of, it wasn't like she escaped with me. It's not like I was really the thing. I got on my knees that day and I said a prayer and I opened my eyes. I said a prayer to God. I was sorry, you know,
after you got your face cut.
To do. Yeah, right in front of Jimmy's. After that, then I got exited out from the back. I got on my knees. And I said a prayer. You know, I asked God for forgiveness for what I was about to do. So when I opened my eyes, I seen, you know, Remy's red Benz there. And she was coming out like, you know, surprised and shocked. She's the one who said, let me take you to the hospital because my intentions was still to stay there and try to get in this motherfucking club and probably do a Happy Land to this shit. If you don't know about Happy Land, I was about to throw some, you know, find some bottles of alcohol and just throw and burn everybody in there.
Molotov cocktail.
So that was my intentions, swear to God. And so I always thank God for him showing me Remy there because I thought she was that was the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it was the right thing to do, right? I don't even want to second guess that. So I always gave her that love, but not because she saved my life. Not because she did, you know, the hospital thing, because I was, you know, in my mind or anything, I was about to die. You know what I'm saying? She did it as a concerned friend that saw me in a bad situation and gave me that option. And I followed her because I was in the trance at that time. So, you know, I appreciated it. I appreciated that.
But the
And I
point
said,
is that you showed that love back, though.
yeah. But that was natural. Like I said, I don't want to wait. I just thought Remy definitely got my back. That was a sign of her having my back. So it's only right for me to have her back too. As a
Exactly.
friend. That's of course.
That's what I'm saying. But you can't bring up just
but
one
it's like,
side of it,
how
though.
can I dare talk about a person that she didn't do nothing special like that, homie? You know what I'm saying? She didn't do nothing extra special like you thinking that situation went like that. She probably saved them, everybody in that club that day. That's what she did. So they better be thankful. That's how I go with my head. But, listen, as a real G, I think I took the real road. I think I did everything with an explanation of me being a man of my word, me being a stand-up nigga, me having the love for friends. And me, and that was my downfall. Sometimes feeling sorry for somebody. When I caught them and they deserved the punishment they needed, I let them go. That's the problem thing.
You know how I know that you and TA are not lying about like the $200 a show, $250, all that stuff like that? Because Remy herself.
You ever thought I was lying?
What?
You ever thought it was a lie?
No, but what I'm saying though is that there's so much backing that up, because even Remy herself said during the lean back times that Joe only offered her like $250 when he was getting so much money from performing lean back. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many people saying this same exact thing.
We accepted it, but we all knew it was disgusting and all that. But it's like, I felt disrespected when he gave me that. I told you I only did one song. I mean, one show. And I said I never went back to do a show again. So I'd rather do my own shit and give this nigga 20% of my $10,000 that I'm getting. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to a terror squad show and get paid for me performing mad songs and everything with the crew, and I get $200 when. Nah, that's disgustingly rape. So I didn't even put that in my equation. So I didn't think too much of it. But I felt it was disrespectful. But these niggas really, my bad with the nigga word again, but my bad. But these artists that was the Remy's, the Armageddons, the Tonys, they did it and they stood there getting $200 a show. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they went through more of a disrespect. And it took more than once for them to get disrespected. So maybe they did it because they was just coming up and they just loved getting in front of a crowd and doing that. But I was already doing that. So they made that fever was gone for me. I just knew it was definitely disrespect for them to do that. And that's why I knew then that PANDA didn't come to the shows because of that. Now I knew where my brother wasn't going. So I was like, that's why this nigga don't come.
So last question, right? The Uppercut Podcast. Shout out to Tyga over there. I like the podcast because of watching his growth. He was originally doing interviews.
This is another one. You got to know that this is another one that's directed.
Wait, just wait. Okay.
And the pipeline goes to Math.
Right. But
it goes to Math. These are Math. The people I'm saying, Cortez, Math, this dude. And I like him too.
He was originally doing interviews in the car. Right. It was called From the Soul. And then he got a nice podcast set up. He been getting real good guests. So he releases this clip of Liza Rios walking off the podcast after being asked too many questions about Joe. But it was like the way he asked it was like he was on Joe's side. You know what I mean? What did you think when you first saw that?
I think he was like pressured to ask that. Or he was told that and he believed it and he blamed Liza. Something like that. He was nervous and he didn't know how to get it out. He just said it because he didn't know no other way. But you just put it out there. That he came out like that? Because I seen him do that with people. He even do that with Math. Like, he just say blunt things out of his mind, like, because you don't know how to. But in that situation, it was just the way the life works and the way the spirit works, that you was meant to do that. And Liza was supposed to do exactly what she did.
I get it. Like everybody has their interview style. Cause like Queen's Flip, you went on his thing, right?
But that was disrespect. That came off disrespectful. But
right. But you know what I'm saying? Like when you interview a certain way where you're trying to challenge the person, like the way
But Queen's it's not even the challenge. It's that you don't talk to a lady like that anyway. Especially an older lady that's older than you, like 50 plus. Like, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to respect older people, first of all.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get caught up in this hip hop game where you lose respect of your morals of how you respect your elders. You know what I'm saying? That's first. That's very disrespectful that you think you could do that.
Right.
But then to be a real situation and you get involved with, that's the first question you ask is just crazy. It's like somebody was behind him, pushing him, telling him to do it like that. Like, what the fuck?
But you're saying that in general, his type of interview style, he often kind of does like that type of thing where he'll like.
Yeah, but he deal with
come
people
out.
he deal with people his age. I'm thinking, certain people you gotta have certain respect for.
So you're saying that he should have had a little more tact, basically, like in the way that he approached it, because
Should have more manners.
Yeah.
He should have had more respect. He should have had more knowledge of being a journalist. He should have had more caring of that topic. More love. More love to get to have a real conversation and let treat his guests where he wants to know the truth instead of putting something on or something like that on Liza or anybody. You put something like that, you're already blaming them. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a punch in the face right there. If you do that with me, like, yo, you believe him? But she's a lady or whatever. I'm not saying that, but it's like it makes you feel like what would you say? So you already. I mean, I would have been more like combative with the arguing because I know where it came from with me. If he said that to me, I would have been like, "What? So you on his dick already?" I would have said that.
Right.
I would have been like, "You on his dick already? You already sucking that nigga dick." And it would have been something, whatever it was. He might have took it like I took his little shot. He could have took mine like that, and I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm playing, but I'm saying though, you coming down my throat like it's an pause, but you look like you don't want sucking the dick." You know what I'm saying? I would have said that straight up, like, "Yo, my nigga, how much you're a hood nigga. You're supposed to know this story from way back. Something's wrong. It can't be just Joe saying the right stuff and Joe doing it. That's because Liza doesn't want to, say, apologize to him. You think it's that simple, doggy? Somebody made you believe that? Or at least prep them. If you have enough respect for her, prep her a little. Go over them words. Like, ask me like that. Then I could tell you, yeah. Nah, don't ask me like that. Like you would have told me, don't ask me like that. You could ask me about it, but not like that. It would have been a little more, but it seemed like it was a ambush right there. And it happened a year and a half ago. So it's even worse. But he put it out in the right time right now. He kind of put it right in the right time. So I was like, did he prep this shit? Because it looks like all this shit happening to Joe is prep. Like, niggas is acting like they're his friends, but they're not really his friends. They like, Nori is snitching on that nigga, but laughing with him. Put him out. He don't even like his own people. Then you got Tiger over here, saying that, which made Liza look like the victim even more. And the more sophisticated, more adult person to walk away and be like, yo, you fucked up. So Tiger looked bad. Math even having Joe say that on his podcast. Math set Joe up to say that shit and put it to the world so the world could see him like who he really is, how racist he is. Maybe Math set him up too. So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's going. I think that's God's work. If you ask me, like the devil trying to move, but they fucking up every step of the way.
Because I think that he had said, like in the other interview where he included like a 2-minute clip of it before he put out the whole thing, right? I think he had said like, "Yo, he had been like chasing after her for a minute to try to get that interview." So then like you've been wanting to get this interview that a lot of people want to interview Liza. Liza never really does interviews, right? Like she did like one with like Doggy Diamonds and like, but not a lot of people. And then for you to jump out the gate and do that. And when he first asked the question, you heard Liza laugh, right? I knew from the moment that she laughed, just based off of my interactions with her.
No, she thought, I know Liza. She thought he was playing.
No, but
she thought it was like a joke. Like, yo, you want to dive in right into it, right? Like she was just going along with the flow. But that's what she said.
Is this you being spicy? That's what she said.
Yeah, but she's going with it. It's what she said. You serious? When she said that, you already know, like, I know you're not serious. I'm playing around with you because I'm thinking, like, you just joking around. Like it's a joke. I know Liza. That's what she meant. So when he kept on, no, but what's up? When you get this, 10 square
when are you going to apologize, basically?
Yeah, but the way he said it,
yeah.
Like he was shaking with it, and it was like he just blurted it out like that. She know he was serious. Like, you serious? Nah, y'all set me up, and it's only right. It's only right to feel like that.
I think that he held on to the clip for a while because he was hoping to make things right with her, but him putting it out, I don't agree with it. I don't think that that's a good thing, because
I think it's now when I think about it, I think that's honorable.
What do you mean?
I think that's the least he could have did and show the world the truth. I think that's honor. I don't hate him for that. Like I got respect for him because of that.
For him to put it
As
out?
a real nigga, I respect that. I respect the fact that he put himself out there to be looked at as the wrong bully, because at the time, that's a bad image for him. And he didn't have to put that out.
I guess there's multiple ways to look at it.
Most motherfuckers, they got interviews like that. They don't never put that out. I did many interviews. Niggas never put it out because of the pressure behind the scenes and all of that. So I give him respect on it. When I think about it, regardless of what I see there, he had the autonomy and he had the right to put that out or not. So I respect that. I think he did it. Like he said, yo, I even did this. I feel bad for even doing this to Liza. But look what she's been through. Look, I even got involved in it. Look what I did to her. So that's honorable.
You think that was the intention, though? Or you think the intention was views? Viral moment or something?
Doesn't matter. Views, they looking at you. They're looking at you like a piece of shit for doing that to them.
Yeah, I know the comments was
if you're
killing
not thinking
them.
the way I know the business, and the way I can see it, he stood up. Even when he did wrong, he put it out there. And he the one who did it. Nobody put it out on him. He did it himself. That was honorable. All
right, Q, I just want to thank you for your time. Is there anything you want to say to the people before we go ahead and wrap it up?
The show will go on, man. You already know, man. Some stories just don't go away until they met face to face and they've been tackled by the right justice system. And the justice system is the public, I guess. That's the way God intended it. It is what it is, my brothers and sisters. And I love all of y'all, man, regardless. You know, you might see me angry about what I've been through, but I am very, very, just happy with life. You know what I'm saying? And you know, sometimes we get things to go our way. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes the injustice happens. Sometimes justice happens. You know, we all inspire each other with what we went through our journey, especially as artists. This is my story. My story involves a whole empire that's, you know what I'm saying, that is to this day relevant. You know what I'm saying? And it's a great story, man. Believe me, all this anger and shit like that, man, it's great times that happen to me. But this is the most important part. You know, you have to check things for what it is for the whole story to be told right. You know what I'm saying? And the liars to stop lying. You know, teach that lesson to that liar. You know what I'm saying? To that bully that think he could be a bully. I know he can bully me. I know that. He tried. You know, he tried. But he never bullied me. But I've seen him bully a lot of people. You know, I always stood against that. So I still with the right morals, rep my brother, still repping him. You know what I'm saying? Still respect this foundational Black American sport that we call hip hop. And I do this shit for the craft and I still got some fire. Shout out to PANDA Chop. Shout out to Diamond D. Shout out to Doggy Diamonds. You know what I'm saying? People like that. Shout out to other people. Hassan Campbell, you know what I'm saying, for telling the truth. Shout out to everybody who played along and understood it. Did what they could. I don't expect nothing, man. It's just a story, man. This is biblical stuff we talk about here. And you know what I'm saying? And it makes a difference. It makes a difference in putting the stories right, the timeline right, and the repetition right about certain characters. Whenever I'm not here and they ever talk about Cuban Link, you already know who I am. Because I told you out of my mouth. I ain't wait for the next man to tell my story. Because it would have never happened. Unless I would have died and it would. You picture the story you would have told about me if I wasn't here defending myself? So I did it, you know what I'm saying, for that reason. And for those I represent, you know what I'm saying? And hip hop, I love you. You already know, South Boogie down to the death of me. I'm Cuban from the root up. You know what I'm saying? From the root up to the toot up. and you know what I'm saying? I'm definitely a fundamental Black Cuban. You know what I'm saying? / trying to be American. And I'm a guest in this game. And I came in as a guest. And I love y'all for accepting me into the culture of hip hop. And I think I made y'all proud, regardless if you want to, you know what I'm saying, put me with the crazy people that, you know what I'm saying, you see misusing their power. But I'm here still representing your boy Cuban, man. CLK Entertainment, man. Shout out to everybody. Everybody, keep up the fight.